Welcome, everybody, to Crit Eating Grin plays Curse of Strahd, as we are once again back. My name is Eric. I will be the Grin Master for this chapter of our tale, and we're going to pick right back up where we left off on the traumatic previous episode, as the party finds themselves pretty much in the middle of the street, the town of Vallaki. Imagine with me, if you will, this is like a war film. There are people finding significant others and holding them as they lay unalived. There are children searching for their lost puppies. There are buildings that are in shambles.
Why would you mention puppies?
And what would you all like to do?
And the
Find
church is
the puppies and
destroyed.
give them to their owners.
I think I left the tiny hut and was trying to figure out the plan, because the last memory I remember is Ireena being yoinked from the city. And I see a woman Ben's talking to.
Oh,
There's a
fuck,
little
that's
bit of
right.
a... It's kind of like a me and Megan conversation.
Yeah, okay, foreplay, got
It's
it.
a little foreplay. So where
Got
everybody thinks mom and dad are fighting, but really it's secretly our form of foreplay.
Yeah, I would just like to cover my eyes from the foreplay.
Sure, it's
My
coming
bad, sorry.
off.
What's the plan?
I think they're going to die.
Oh, evening prayers. That's not the time for this.
The guards are trying to get people to safety. They are trying to make or get people to vacate the streets into buildings into safety. Just so that we are aware, as you are parked in the middle of a street
With a tiny hut.
in a tiny hut.
Yeah.
And Avram is the old dude is there.
He's
No
in-
longer the horse.
He is in the tent because he was kind of talked into the tent, I'm pretty sure by Rose. He was hell-bent on trying to, let's starve it and go get him. Like he was forthright with it.
Is tiny hut? No one can see it on the outside, right? Like
It's like an
illusion?
opaque kind of thing.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't, I'm pretty sure you can't see in, and it sort of blends in.
Yeah.
Well, I was just wondering if we had citizens constantly smacking into it.
They
This is in
could,
the middle
they
of the
could, or
street.
something could running into it, yes. The suggestion was the tiny hut in the middle of the street may not be a permanent solution.
Is ground around it kind of still surrounded by like corrosive acid?
The flames have kind of dwindled out from the breath.
I think Rhodes is, once he gets a sense that everyone is alive and stable, he's gonna run towards the church.
Okay.
And he is looking for the kids that we brought here.
Okay.
Yeah, I would run after him.
Does
Just because I feel like in a horror film, I'm a little confused. Like
You got that
ringing in my ear,
Yeah,
just kind of
exactly.
like
Exactly.
adrenaline was still pumping when I
Death will
died.
do
So
that to you.
yeah,
Shock.
adrenaline is back up and pumping because there's so much going on. So yeah, I would run. I don't even know what we're doing, but
Okay. So you see Rhodes take off, you follow suit. What is everybody else doing?
Who put the tiny hut up? You? If you leave it, it disappears, right? I'm pretty sure the preparer has to stay within the circle to keep it up.
That's
No.
a great question.
So
Within the hut.
Was anything else in the city destroyed, or
Go
was it
back to our
just the
spell.
church?
It's pretty much this block, this kind of area.
Okay.
Did Yaska introduce herself to us with her real? Did she? I can't remember.
Yes.
She did.
Esmeralda.
that is
Correct.
Oh shit, that's right.
Well, we've already broken it.
So the hut will. We can
Um,
retcon it. It's our game. We do what we want.
I
So the hut fades as everyone inside the hut is now exposed in the middle of the street.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Esmeralda said that she
dumb
wanted to
joke,
find
sorry.
her mentor.
That was correct. She's looking
Yeah.
for her mentor. She knows he's here somewhere. She's tracked him down, and she was able to kind of track you using the ring that you have that was hers.
That's right. That
If
still
I remember
have.
correctly.
I'm gonna follow Niley. You took off.
yeah. Rhodes ran. I ran.
I'll look at Ez and I'll go. Ez, we really don't have time for this right now. Just follow us and we'll sort it out. And I take off after Niley with no regard to. Actually, Fee, are you down on the ground?
Yeah, I was where the hut is. I'm probably still
Okay.
reeling from
I'll hold my hand up and go, "Come on, we need a healer," and I'll
Are you like
grab her.
rocking in like the fetal
I'm
position?
more like just like standing and or sitting and like trying to establish
PTSD.
Yeah,
kind of?
and trying to establish connection with this savior or whatever, because I feel like I'm taken off or whatever, or separated. Yeah, I'm literally probably just sitting where the hut was.
You literally are experiencing at this point before. Ben, thank you. My brain just stopped. Before Ben gets there and kind of
Here
like
for you, boss.
extends his hand to snap you out of it, you begin to see just and feel this sensation of weightlessness, but being restrained as you just kind of see images of like bubbles floating all around you. And there's these kind of creepy images of or silhouettes of something or someone that are kind of moving outside of this barrier or like glass tube or something, to where when he comes over, it snaps you out of it.
Do I recognize any figures, or is it just very?
It's all like
nondescript?
it's all horror movie shadow play.
Cool, great. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yay.
Finn, come on.
My brain is like a completely blended mess at this point. Sure, yeah, whatever. Hold on, I need to go a little slow.
All right.
And it'll be very much like you're guiding somebody that can barely even see, can barely even function. Like you're really just taking a kid by the hand and pulling them along because, yeah. And I saw Dot again, so that was traumatizing.
And I want to keep the trio of us together
Okay.
as much as I can.
I'm very wary of this other person that you've got with you. Like, don't look at me, don't touch me. Like, I'm flinching as if, like, I assume everyone around me I don't know is going to hurt me. Like, just general. I've, like, almost, what is the word? Like, regressed into...
Correct.
Like, I have no ego. I'm completely just muscle memory.
All survival.
Yeah, survival mode 100%.
Like shell shocked.
Yeah. I died, so I mean...
Two sides of the spectrum, you know?
Sure. So the two of you, everything is going on chaotically?
I think if they're all running towards the church, and you said it was kind of like the whole block, maybe walk up and down, like, not the church, but like anything else surrounding, just to see if there's anybody calling for help or
Sure.
anything like that.
Okay.
I think I've already established I am helping all of the lost puppies find their owner.
Have you guys make perception checks to locate lost puppies and or any survivors?
I'm gonna go ahead and use that
Even
channel.
church people.
You guys are going to get into the church, or what remains of the church. The shell is essentially, it is just kind of ruined walls. 3 of them, 1 of them is completely collapsed inward. There is just a debris of wood shattered pews and chairs, altars. There are multiple people that are unalived under the rubble. One of which kind of twisted in a very ragdoll-like way would be the priest, which was Father Petrovich, I think. There is a small cry for help amongst the rubble. It may be one of the children that you rescued, or another child.
Yeah, I would just make my way over there. Like, trying not to step on any of the rubble because there could be people under there, but also, like, going to attempt to move whatever is.
Yes, you would take your step. Oh, that's my leg, please.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna channel divinity as we walk and give anybody within 5 feet 13 hit points back.
Oh God, yes.
So Shasta or whatever, Esmeralda can have that too, or anybody that was walking with that little trio.
Would
13 hit points.
Rhodes and I be with that trio?
I don't know. However, I think we were like behind you. I don't
I
know.
think
trying
it
to-
was pretty much just
This
Ben.
3. Yeah.
And yeah.
And Ez is sticking with us, or is she?
There probably would have been a under the breath typical, and then she'll be lagging behind, but kind of briskly walking in that direction, as if she's going to accommodate what you have to say, but her mind is focused on.
And she has a fake leg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She hides it extremely well.
I'll look at Fee and I'll go. Where's Ireena? Where's Ismark?
It's a little bit fuzzy. Ismark has been gone for a while, but I think Ireena got scooped up before the bright flash. I don't know Something about probably like a dragon or something. It's not very clear, but
And I
I'm
will.
pretty
I'll go,
sure she's been kidnapped.
Here, take this, and I'm gonna give you my potion of healing, which is a greater potion of healing. Kind of.
I'm actually good. I'll take it and hold on to it for
Yeah.
you, but I'm okay.
I'll hand it to you. So it's
Okay.
yours now.
Sweet.
Potion of healing greater.
And you had your perception checks were 12. Okay.
14.
14, you find a lost puppy and return it to its small little boy owner. Thanks, ma'am. And the puppy just licks you all over the face and then licks him all over the face and then they run away. Now I have to find my mommy.
I'll help with that.
The
Honestly,
12,
his priorities are right. Puppy, then mom.
the 12 is going to get you the sound of sobbing
From
in the distance. You're down a little bit of an alleyway.
just keep going that way.
You follow the sound, you go around a corner, and you can see a father holding his 2 little kids as they did not survive the blast. He looks up and he is just heavily sighing. Welcome to my world, bitches. It's dark here.
I'm just gonna turn awkwardly and just keep going and leave him in his moment because there's nothing I can do to help
You
that.
knock over a trash can and you're like,
So you make your way over towards the kind of cry for help, a small cry for help. Easy enough, you start moving rubble out of the way, and you see this tiny little arm kind of through the debris, trying to. You guys will help it. It's a tiny little gnome. Citizen. Fro just takes his boot and says, "No."
You're back on fire again.
how dare you?
We here at Crit Eating Grin do not endorse the mistreatment of gnomes. Let me be clear.
Oh man.
What?
Robin's taking offense.
What happened?
Yeah, we felt the gnome.
Begrudgingly roses, so I guess.
Cross the rainbow
I don't
road.
know.
What is wrong with you?
He grumbles a little.
So aiding the gnome, you help her out, and she's very grateful. She's going to start kind of running around trying to look for somebody.
Cast cure wounds and then kick her.
At this time, Ben and Filova, you guys will make it to. You were trying to reconvene with everybody who was heading towards this church, correct?
Yeah, I'm specifically going after Niley.
On a mission.
Like, I'm
Okay.
trying to keep the 3 of us together.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you'll get at what was kind of the front or the entryway is now very. It's been remodeled. It's very open. It's open.
It's been remodeled.
There's a lot of sad things in there, but you will see Rhodes, Niley, as Rhodes puts a boot and then changes his mind and they help a gnome out of the rubble.
Who appears to be the most coherent in this moment?
It's not Niley.
Not me.
Probably Rhodes.
Yeah.
He still has a room in his heart for hate, so he's definitely coherent.
I'm still holding Filova's hand with Ez trailing behind us. I'm gonna walk up and grab Niley's hand, and just hold them kind of both simultaneously and go, Rhodes, what the fuck happened?
A lot.
You're
I'm assuming this place had a roof.
Help me.
It was him. He came on a dragon and he sacked the city and
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Dragon didn't appreciate that.
I'm fine.
Oh my god. Okay, Rose, a dragon, the Lord of the Land, attacked the castle for what purpose? Where's Ireena?
he literally the moment that Ireena was out of our presence and we entrusted her with the cleric here, he attacked and
I thought...
took her. We all tried, but Fiolova and Niley both fell. And they were completely dead, corroded by acid. I don't know what has happened. I have a feeling you're involved, but
History says this is your fucking
I
fault.
love roads. I just love roads. We're your roads, but I just love
Ben and these meddling kids.
all I know is at this point we have to deal with the hand that we're dealt. And Ismark was already gone.
Oh, Ismark is dead too.
No.
Ismark
Gone.
was gone in the same way that you were.
Yes. That's a fair assumption.
And I'll kind of just like look around and look up and take in sort of all of the destruction. I thought this was supposed to be a safe place.
That's what we all believed. I had my reservations the moment we walked into the church.
There is a nun who intercedes or injects into the conversation and says it was a safe place. This place was protected by the bones of Saint Markovia. That's what she says. He's
bones?
never been able to get into this area, is what she'll say. Is she maybe a little concussed? You don't know.
I was gonna say Niley's also like hand being held hostage right now, but she's still trying to move rubble and find people.
Yeah.
So it's
You're
not going very
finding
well for
people.
you. Ben. Like she's kind of not fighting your hold, but it's also like I need both hands to do this.
Yeah. I think seeing you do that, I think he's just at this point kind of trying to stay in your sphere.
Sure. Yeah.
Just
cool.
like if you try to pull away, he's not going to lock you down.
Cool.
He's going to let you go, but his eyes are kind of always trained. Do I see any indication, knowing what I felt kind of ripping up from the ground, anywhere on, since I'm assuming I get Niley's back at some point, anything on her back or anything indicating what happened or nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
As soon as we stopped walking, like, and got to our destination, I would have just probably almost fallen just right onto the floor, legs akimbo, just sitting there, like, trying to not crumble mentally. But I'm just holding your hand like a little kid sitting on the floor, like, yeah, sure, this is life, I guess.
I'll squat down next to you, just so I can sort of keep you close and eyes trained on Niley. And I'll go, where are Celeste and the other one?
He couldn't remember the name either.
Nymora. I know her name. It's Nymora. It was a character choice.
We had a little spat. We almost murdered each other. We were like, I don't know what I mean.
Where are our other compatriots?
They're fine. They're unharmed. They were away from the church when the attack happened.
This is so nice to us.
I just kind of, like, glance around, like, give me that look like, your guess is as good as mine, like, memories are not a thing for me right now.
And we walked past the dead priest's body.
You probably to get to where they were, yes. He's pretty twisted up on the rubble.
I'll look at Philov. I'll be back in a second, darling. And I'm gonna turn around and I'm going to right his body, but in the same way roll his body. And I want to see if there is anything on him, like keys or indication of what these bones are, or any of these things.
Sure, give me an investigation.
Kind of stone that will control him remotely.
21. 15 plus 6.
He has a small, like, he has some prayer beads, which he would use for his prayers. Stop it. He has a little small book of, like, like a prayer book.
Okay.
He has a few pieces of silver, like pocket change he would have for personal reasons, but that's about it.
Okay. No, like, keys to the church or anything like that?
Well, I mean, if there were keys to the church, they may have been scattered when he said over the room or whatever, like that.
Sure. Is the nun still by them?
The nun is in the remains of the church.
Okay.
She's kind of trying to help people and then trying to help them out as well, because it's, bits of stone and mortar kind of falling in.
Okay. I'll just go ahead and walk over to her with the beads and the book, and the pocket change that I found. I'll toss in whatever nearby overturned donation plate there is. and I'll just hand her the beads in the book and go, these are yours now. Maybe you can protect this place better than he could. And I'm going to start helping Niley do whatever the fuck she's doing.
Am I finding people like alive?
You're finding people. No, they're unalived.
I'm going to explain to Ben that we had civilians that we brought here, children that were the hag's victims. And describe them.
Victims.
The moment I get that, because I never went inside the tower, the moment I get that information, I'm looking for those kids.
Sure.
That's what I
would say no need to roll. It takes you a good 5 to 10 minutes before you will be able to locate them. They are actually kind of tucked back into kind of like an offshoot room that would have been kind of like like a prayer booth, a confession booth.
Yeah.
They've kind of hidden in there. There's a lot of creaking to where there's a lot of pressure from like walls and stuff that are like resting upon it. So you guys will swoop them out before it pancakes and crushes. I think there was 2 of them.
Okay.
Sure, we're 2. They are unharmed. They are alive.
Yeah, would swoop them out into the main area of the church to try to like get them to the nun.
Yeah, at this point the nun is just organizing things, trying to get people to certain places over to like there may have been a quick tent that was set up by some of the guards where they have some healers or they have healing magics or potions and they are trying to tend to the wounded.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
I vaguely remember giving the ring back to Esmeralda. Is she still around? Is she like waiting
She
for
has
us?
stayed about 10 feet behind you, amusing your request.
Okay. I'll walk up to her and I go, how good are you at finding things?
There's just like this half cocky smile that kind of comes up. Just kind of like half of her face kind of gives that little Crit Eating Grin.
Roll credits, we're
I'll
done.
go,
We're done.
come on, we find our other friends. And I'll look back at Niley and Filova as I start to leave the church with the intention of finding Celeste and Nymora, knowing that
I'd say you might,
okay.
yeah, sure. Like you might wander around for a minute or two and, you'll see a little boy come out like, oh, my puppy, I gotta find mom.
Must be Nymora.
I would say that everybody would reconvene after a couple minutes. They probably would say your searches have probably turned up what it's turned up, and you kind of migrate back. So there's a huge meeting of the minds.
Okay.
Near the ruins, as the nun kind of gets everyone out and says, well, that's all, and the building just goes.
Oh,
How convenient.
Celeste, Nymora, are you alright?
Physically, it's been an interesting past few hours. Days.
What did you see?
I have some questions for you about your time wherever you were. If we might want to take this somewhere private, not in the middle of the street.
Alright. Could we save some people first?
Oh, well, the guards, we've been looking around. You can clean up the town a bit, but they've done a good job out here.
For the most part, everything has been contained.
Can I go back to the gates and demand all of our weapons?
You can.
Oh shit, that's right.
You go back to the gate.
I still have mine.
Roll me a percentage dice.
I'm a warlock. I am the weapon.
I am the weapon.
I am the weapon.
I choose peace over violence.
Can you go try to turn the speaker up?
How much?
Just so we can hear better. My old ears won't let me.
39.
Oh, that's a... I thought you were rolling like a perception check, and I was like, 39?
Whoa!
And then I put together it was a perception check.
You will request for the guard. He is scrambling to find amongst the debris. He's like, I think this is yours, and he honors each ticket. You're good enough to where they get all your weapons returned. As he's trying to recollect everything that got turned over. Yeah.
See if you see anything extra that you would. Oh no, that looks like ours too.
See this?
Super magical thing. That thing, that's ours.
See that? That looks like a grenade. I need that.
That nuclear weapon, I think that's mine. Could you?
Yeah, I
pass
definitely
that
remember
over?
leaving that here.
I totally remember leaving all of that acid in that box right
Grace comes
there.
back like swinging morning stars.
What you know about me? What you know about me?
Oh
Oh
man.
my god. Do Celeste and Nymora look any different?
They look pretty unharmed. Maybe a little dirty from helping find a puppy.
I wish you guys would have been able to, like, help us. Too bad you didn't make it on time. I'm sure you had the best intentions and were running very fast to save us and everything.
Who, me?
Yeah. Both
No,
of
I
you.
wasn't going into that.
Like, you want to talk to your sister, or...
I mean, in Celeste's defense,
The guards are trying to reiterate to clear the street as they're trying to like get everyone off the street. So you people off the street. It is for your own safety is what they're saying. Everybody move. He starts
Sorry,
pointing.
we're assisting this town, sir. We will move when we're good and fucking ready. That's how I'm gonna respond to him.
Okay.
You're speaking to the people who fought the dragon directly, guard.
As I'm extra crispy still, probably.
Can I have an intimidation check from both Ben and Rhodes?
Yeah, man.
Guidance.
And you can aid whoever
Yeah,
you want to aid
I would
with
like
your
to
extra
aid.
crispy.
Guidance.
Yeah, no, I'm very extra crispy
Who,
still.
who are you helping?
Whoever has...
Roads probably, or
So
Ben,
Rose, you'll have
whoever.
advantage.
And guidance, right?
And guidance. Which is what D4.
Yes.
22.
What you got, Ben?
22! 19 plus 3.
Oh, 22.
Oh,
nice.
22.
At first, the guard starts to like run a little bit, and then Rhodes steps in. He's like, "No, bro, it's okay.
Like, I
Respect.
can't even see shit.
Double morning stars, back up, fucker." Yeah,
Oh man.
got it.
Deep down in my dead heart that is barely aliving me
It
right
is-
now,
it
I feel a
has-
spark of hope.
It has bought some time, but do remember, you probably should try to get
I'll-
off the street.
Where do we go, though? We don't live here.
I'll look at Esmeralda and I'll go, Yaska, excuse me, I really hate it when people have multiple names. Could you
Irony.
fucking guide us? Are you familiar with this town at all? You said your mentor is here.
She's going to tell you if you are done with this, follow me. She is going to lead you to
Insight check. Does she seem safe or bad?
Insight check.
Yeah.
Does she seem what? I'm sorry.
Safe
Okay.
or bad?
25 insight from
No, it's
Minerva.
safe. Like, she's just like, okay, I've amused you all. Now, come on, let's get on with this.
I've got a 24 insight for her. Just trying to get a
25.
read.
Oh, she's...
If she's gonna take our organs or not.
No. She's
My organs are
legit
dead,
here, and she's meant to be a helping hand.
Okay, so I get a good-ish vibe.
Yes.
How is
From her.
Afram through all this? I
He
mean,
has...
Ruffles.
He is just literally biding his time.
I'll go up to Rhodes and I'll put my hands on his shoulders. Where is Ruffles? Where is he?
I point to the well and down naked man standing.
Hey, not everything
we
changes
found him
back.
a blanket somewhere.
I-
okay?
Not
Yeah.
everything
PG-13
changes back,
podcast.
Mr. Man.
Is it?
Oh,
I was like, I say fuck a lot. And I need to know right now if I used up our only chance.
I'll look back at Rhodes and I'll go, I thought you said it was all bad. That looks lovely.
Oh.
I'll let you all do your evening prayers at another time.
As he kind of like slightly raises his left leg.
Some things never change.
So she is going to direct everyone to, on the map, N2. As you follow her, or if you follow her,
And two, I see it.
I'll
She'll take it.
step in pace with Celeste and I'll go, are you sure you're alright?
Yeah.
Never been better.
What,
Just kind of, I mean, I was not about to kill myself in order to go into that church. But I'm doing good.
That's fair. That's fair. You worried about your sister?
She seems to be alright.
I'm just deciding whether I start the shit now or later on in the podcast.
I'll kind of
You are-
gesture over at, I'll kind of nod towards Ez, because I'm assuming she's kind of at the front of the pack, and I'll say, Shadow spoke about?
Great question. I have no idea what we're doing here, to be honest.
You? No, Esmeralda?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're like, do we trust her? I don't know. Does Celeste trust her? Depends on. Like, I
Celeste,
could-
you seem to be the most discerning of us. Do we
I
trust
feel
her?
like you know. I don't know this person.
Well, I know.
You seem quite chummy with
That
her.
yeah. I feel like
She
you
was
have
the one
any
who-
insight here you would care to share?
As far as I know, she was the one who brought me here. This is the Vistani I did evening prayers with before I ended up on the
Amen.
streets full of zombies.
Praise him.
Also,
Oh, so
did
she-
you
Oh, yes.
guys get my...
He's the one that brought you here, and then I got brought here because you were here?
Yes, that path seems to be...
You don't start no shit, there won't be no shit. I
Well,
swear
we
to God. We can't get along right now.
You'll see her, like, sitting there, like,
What was... Celeste, do you happen to remember the description of the ally we were supposed to find?
Oh yeah. Hold on. Saint Markovia's Abbey near the mist. Vistani woman wanders alone. So yeah, I guess so.
are we... Is this the Abbey? Points to rubble.
Well, I think that was the church. The abbey typically has a head abbot or monk. I'm a little late to the game. I don't know who the dead man I rolled was, but
Yes, that was it.
I would have assumed they were connected. I don't know if they actually are connected,
I
but
think this is the first time I've ever even heard we're actually, like, have a goal of looking for things.
oh, I thought we told you. I thought we told you that the first night that you showed up.
No, it was an escort mission, was what I believe I was told.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
going to escort this girl to safety. And
Yeah, we
it
didn't give
failed
away
epically.
all of our cards in the beginning.
Yeah. Nope. This has been a very, very, very confusing couple of hours for just okay.
And I will. I'll just very gently kind of rub the back of my neck, and I'll put my hand, thinking about what happened, on Naimora's shoulder, and I'll say, "Well, sister, there's a lot we must discuss."
Yes,
What?
there's quite a lot.
And scene. That's all I got.
So you're all led to the location on the map at marked in 2. And when you arrive, you can see that there's a sign that hangs nearby, labeling it as the Blue Water Inn.
Question for you, DM: is the whole town fucked, or like just a localized area?
So if you look at the map where N1 on the map is,
Got it.
the Balaki map,
Got it.
that is where St. Andrew's Church was.
Got it.
So that kind of block, or that, several buildings there, was kind of torched.
Oh wait, but Saint Markovia's Abbey is what we were looking for.
It's according to the cards.
So 2 different locations.
oh, so it's not called that.
Lone woman
Correct.
Well, I think the woman and the location were 2.
wandering,
The ally.
The mist and the woman are
woman.
separate things, I
They're
think.
separate. Yeah, they're separate.
wandering near what is the Abbey again?
Markovia. Okay.
Isn't that
Is
the
there anything that
dead
doesn't end
bones
in
name?
Ovia here?
No.
Yeah,
No.
she named the
Blocky.
bones, but she
Novia.
said the bones of Saint Markovia, but I don't.
Oh, it was Saint Markovia. I said Saint Barovia. Hold on.
It's pretty close.
It's all the same thing.
Ovia. Saint Ovia.
Honestly,
Blocky
if you
doesn't
just
have
end
Ovia.
anything in Ovia here, you're fine.
Ocovia.
Or Aki. Aki
Yeah,
or Ovi.
Aki or
Ovia.
Ovia.
My name, Nylaki.
Yeah.
Nylovia.
Or
Wait,
Nylovia.
even me feel Ovia.
Fielovia.
Nymovia.
See?
Nymorvia.
Uh,
Mine doesn't work.
San Francisco.
Nylastaki.
So,
It makes it sound like a Japanese dish.
well, actually, I'll wait for my questions until we're like seated, hopefully, at
Sure.
a tavern with a large,
Everyone can see that there
large pint of ale.
is gray smoke that is issuing from the chimney. This very large 2-story wooden building with a stone foundation, a sagging tile roof upon which there are several ravens that have perched and are squawking and watching as you get into the tavern. You enter enter in, and you can see.
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to find a good description. The tap room. There we go. There are damp cloaks that hang from pegs near the entrance portico, in which you guys have now filtered in. The tavern is packed with tables and chairs, with narrow paths that meander between them. There's a bar that stretches along one wall, under a balcony that can be reached by a wooden staircase that hugs the north wall. Another balcony overhangs an entrance to the east. All the windows are fitted with thick shutters and crossbars. Lanterns hang above the bar, resting on the tables that bathe the room in a dull orange light, as cast shadows upon the walls, most of which are adorned with wolves' heads that have been mounted on wooden plaques. There are probably a dozen or more patrons in here that are drinking, going about their business.
Like nothing happened?
Walk in. Looking like shit.
They do not even acknowledge or recognize you walking in.
Do they seem like they see us or sense us at all?
The acknowledgement that someone has entered is there to
Okay.
but
We're not invisible.
you are correct.
Okay.
They are not worried. They are just continuing with their conversations. They're drinking. They're eating. Whatever they are doing.
Is there a table large enough for all of us?
There would be indeed.
And they're
And are there
just
wandering barmaids?
There is one.
That's what Namor is going to do, is make her way over to the table, flag a barmaid. Yes, something, warm cider, lager, something, the largest size, largest glass, or a tub,
Okay.
or barrel. Just bring the barrel.
Ben, you were getting ready to say?
Do the patrons seem shell-shocked, or like this is just a typical day?
This is Barovia, and we've lived here and survived long enough kind of vibe.
Fuck.
Dragon was talking to me.
Okay.
Esmeralda.
Do you guys have my crate? My backpack?
Yeah, you took it, I think.
I mean, anything would have been probably in the
No,
wagon.
I think, we stowed the wagon, and we're, like, looking at prices for horses and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it would
that's
be
where
in the
you would
wagon.
found us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our wagon that no longer has a horse for it.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Bridges.
Esmeralda makes her way briskly to a half-elf older gentleman sitting at the bar. It is probably about 15 to 20 feet away from where the party has begun to migrate. We focus on Ben. You're kind of in the middle at a crossroads. Do you follow the party? Do you go to the bar? What do you want to do? Choose wisely.
I'm gonna look over at Thief and Niley and kind of the rest of the party and like watch them settling in. And as I walk past the table, I'll lean down into Celeste's ear and I'll say, "I'll be right back. Give me a few minutes." And I'm gonna go to the bar.
Okay. As the bar maiden passes you for a brief second, you see your dot, essentially.
Done.
It causes you to like react, and then your eyes kind of adjust, and it's just the tavern's barmaid.
Are we close to a wall?
You could brace yourself on a nearby empty chair.
I was gonna say I probably jumped out of my skin onto a wall, like as a reaction, like "Oh yeah!"
The ceiling.
Well, everybody will see and or hear a reaction from Vilova.
Yeah,
Uh,
extreme reaction.
I think the adrenaline was like slowly wearing off at that point. Back up to 100, like grab my sword, ready.
We'll have 8 of
Gross.
this bar.
No.
We're in public.
Put your tisms away.
Also,
Go, one for you, two for you.
I don't drink alcohol.
also Afram would have gathered
3 for
something
you.
like cloak he would have grabbed away to kind of cover and make himself
I was literally
less
gonna ask
less
for a
visually
round.
endowed.
There were lots of free clothes on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Wait, not whatnot.
oh man.
Yeah, I just have like that moment of terror, and then probably just slowly and like hang my head in shame a little bit, like I'm losing it. I just slink back down to my chair, and keep, depressing inward.
Is everything alright?
I mean, do I have to answer that question?
Well, people of our skill set tend to focus on helping others, but it's been a long day.
Don't know where I went or how I got back, but I do know that I'm no longer in contact. I have no feelings of any of my support or any of my gods. I somehow can still do my normal things, but I keep seeing this dead person. This person that doesn't... I don't know. I can't.
Is it a real person, someone you know?
I barely have a memory of them. Like, I saw them again for the first time since I left. When we got here. And Niley's convinced that it's just a hallucination, but it feels so real. And this person, while definitely not a friend, was one of the only people that was gentle towards me that I can recall.
Did you see anything
When?
when you...
Here's your drink, loves.
Oh.
She starts issuing out drinks, and when you kind of lock eyes, there's this brief second where it just goes from what to dot to not.
Dot.
Barmaid, do you have any herbal tea with valerian root or something like this? I need some kind of...
No problem, love. She moves by you and kind of touches your shoulder, and you can see the hand of Dot. And then she
Is
moves
anybody
away.
else seeing this face
No one
morphing?
else. No one else is seeing
It's a barmaid.
Yes, and then she's not, and then she is, and then she's... Okay.
You've
I like
suffered a
past-
lot.
Mage hand and start like patting and rubbing her back. It's okay. Sometimes the demons of your past will become more prevalent when you have gone through a significant trauma. It's just your mind trying to work through things. It will pass.
To
I
answer
don't
Rhodes'
think
question, Niley will say no. She said, I saw the dragon. I saw nothing.
Well then, I think perhaps you weren't fully gone yet, and these things are just trauma working themselves out.
No, I'm pretty sure they were fully gone. Yeah. They're pretty well gone. Yep. No, that's two crispy bodies. Very familiar with that. No offense. Sorry to be.
The soul is quite a different thing from one's mortal shell.
A cup will kind of come around, like the way your back and shoulders are. You'll see kind of a hand reach around that looks to be the hand of Dot. The tea is set down. You feel kind of a hand touch your left shoulder and kind of like rub your shoulders a little bit. And she kind of reacts as if she's offended. And she says, "My apologies, love. Here's your tea."
Thank you. Now I'm weary about this tea. I'll just sip it gingerly. I'm not gonna go in.
It's very comforting.
Sick.
I think she needs a nap.
I need a lobotomy.
That only helps in 30% of the cases.
So, Ireena's gone. Ismark's gone.
Yeah.
Ruffles is a human being. We knew that, but now he's shaped like one. What's up, Afram?
Sad.
What up, Ephraim?
I think Ben could probably answer questions for us about what Ismark might be experiencing.
Yes, let's start there. That's probably a good.
He's about to have evening
As
prayers.
we shift our scene over to Ben, as you approach, and Esmeralda is talking with this half-elf older gentleman who has a book kind of splayed out, a inkwell, a quill. He's dipping it in. He turns, and there's a sudden kind of look when she approaches.
I want to see what he's writing over his shoulder.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Oh, it's not bad. 14.
You get a glimpse of a couple words, and then quickly the book is clamped shut.
Cool.
It looks as if it's what you just gleaned was some sort of sonnet or poem, possibly something like that, the way it was said or phrased.
Okay.
But you can't get the specifics.
Okay.
I've been looking for you for quite some time. You are not an easy man to find, is what she immediately says. And he looks back and he says, Well, that's my job, is to stay ambiguous, and by you being here presenting a scene, this complicates things drastically. What is it that you want, Esmeralda? How long, Rictavio? My apologies. Rudolph is what she clarifies. He kind of grimaces for a quick second and then realizes, okay. Are you going to sit by an idle watch as the devil continues to terrorize these people when we have the power to stop it?
Hello, Rudy.
Now,
My name's Ben. And
I was going to say he's very self-aware now as he kind of locks eyes kind of at your presence.
And I'll just kind of gently extend my hand.
You will exchange a handshake.
Yeah.
You will see that he has calluses, scars, and things that indicate he is a man of action or hard work.
Okay.
It's a stern handshake.
Does it... Okay.
Please be seated, as he kind of waves to the seat on the other side of him. So it'll be Esmeralda left, you would be right, he would be in the center of the conversation.
Yep, and I want to sit with my back to the bar so I can still see
the table.
Still see the party.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of, you know how people sit at the bar like with a group of friends and they're just kind of, and that's so I can still engage in conversation but keep an eye on where everybody is.
The barkeep, as you kind of get yourself into position, ask if he can get you something to drink or perhaps eat.
A cup of water sounds lovely. And I'll put the equivalent of a gold piece on the bar.
Okay. And what did you say you broke up a little bit?
A cup of water.
Cup of water. Okay. Yeah, he will fetch that. It is a mineral-based water, so when you get back, all the healthy minerals and things that Barovians need.
Love it. So, Rudy, tell me how you know this lovely Vistani creature.
She was an ally, and I was her mentor, until things became a little complicated. And she needed to go upon her way to find herself, is what he says.
A hero's journey, one might say. And I'll kind of peek over to Ez and I go, and how old does this half-elf look?
Physically, he probably looks like he's, half-elf's age is the same as human. So he's probably in his late 50s, early 60s.
Okay.
Not elderly, but enough to show maturity.
And I'll kind of lean back and go, and now it appears that we are collecting older men. Explain to me what this man...
It's raining men.
Older men.
Hang on, what'd you say?
Explain to me why you are seeking this man out.
He has the means and the ability and the technology to hunt what it is that is plaguing these lands. Very good. Very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, snap. Having recently made what may be an unbreakable bargain, I'm gonna look at my hand for a second, and I'm gonna look kind of over at Rudy, and I go, do you think you could help?
Let me pull up my statistics. And you're trying to see if he can gauge what happened to you.
Yeah, a little bit. Knowing that the thread is kind of frayed, I have no disguise on. I imagine more Fey-like than I have in the past. And I'm using this as a test of some sort, because I kind of get a sense of what Ez can do, and with the description that Ava gave, confirmed by Celeste, I'm assuming that we're kind of stuck with her. I want to see what this guy can offer us.
He instinctually figures out very quickly. His intelligence immediately waves. Like you can see, okay, he knows his shit. He's going to begin to examine the threaded bracelet, correct? Mm-hmm. He begins to examine it. He does the old, curious, kind of typical video game in of a smart person.
Yeah.
You know. Goes over it. He literally will lean you forward as he looks behind you. And you notice that he's wearing a pair of, like, rose-colored spectacles.
Okay.
And he examines and he says, and then kind of lets you take your normal posture. He's going to tell you that whoever created this band, this beautiful bracelet is what he says, is no longer the owner of the bracelet. The ownership has been transferred. Is what he says.
Yikers.
And there is a bind or a thread that is invisible to most. And he kind of does this little, the little crossing. That binds you here for eternity, my friend, is what he'll say. You are now a Barovian.
WT fuck.
Wow.
What the shit, Ben?
Good thing all bargains can be broken. Thank you for taking it.
I don't know what to do here.
It's a full-on tango with the devil now.
No. Rudy, Ez, would you be so kind as to join me and my compatriots for, let's say, a little chat, if you intend to help?
I'll be over in a little bit, is what.
How about now? Time is of the essence.
You can use a deception if you like.
Oh yeah, I want to use deception.
Or intimidation. Intimidation.
Or intimidation.
Yeah.
No, my deception's a +9, buddy. We're gonna say it's a 25. And by we're gonna say that's 25, it's a 16 plus a 9.
And math tricks.
That math. Clickety-clack.
What did you have?
25.
Oh, okay. At first, he's taken back, a little smile of confidence as he kind of grabs his cane and says, "Listen, Junior."
And I'm just, and I'm just gonna put my hand on his shoulder and just ever so gently lead, like just kind of push him off the bar stool, and just kind of like bring him to the table.
Oh my
That
gosh.
has big boomer energy for real.
Honestly, Ben's not unhappy with the old men we've got.
Isn't your sport?
Your buddy.
Ain't your buddy, pal.
Ain't your pal, buddy.
When you do that, the entire tavern, the lights begin to flicker. And then he's going to say, "Are you sure you want to go down this road?"
Just a little chat.
We noticed that.
Well, yeah, everybody notices the tavern light, and there's this kind of like awkward stance between an older half-elf and Ben as he's trying to like guide him by the shoulder, right?
Yeah, it was, like upper back. I was just kind of
And he kind of turns with an exchange, and there's a trading of words, so it all kind of thematically fits in.
Can I message?
I would say that
Ben
Esmeralda is just going to be like, "Good luck." She's going to step to the table.
Amazing.
and be like,
Your direction where the party is. If she's coming that way.
Yeah.
"Stop harassing people and get over here. We have questions."
I must finish what I was writing. I will be over shortly.
All right. And I'm gonna sit down on the stool right next to it.
Okay.
And
When
same
Esmeralda gets-
position, looking out. Not as if I am trying to read his book, not as I'm trying to do anything. I'm just making my presence known.
Sure. Yeah. So he very casually takes a seat, kind of flips the tails from his coat so that they hang kind of on the backside of the stool.
And I'll respond to
holds the
Naimora
book.
and just say, "Just gathering allies, sister."
As Esmeralda approaches the table, I'll be crawling out from under it from the scare from the flickering lights.
Oh, I didn't realize you went under the table.
I will just be like, "Ah! It's okay. Alright, everything's okay again. Emergency earthquake drill done."
I imagine you're like you were on top of the bottom of the table, if that makes sense? Like you were just like stuck to the bottom of the table?
I would say as you do that Esmeralda probably will approach. She'll extend her hand, and she says, "Dear, you shouldn't hide under the table. Please, come sit with us."
I'm like a scared cat, like in the corner, like I'll do it myself.
Okay, so
I don't take her hand.
Okay. All right.
Human beings are not trustworthy right now to me.
Okay.
My core people, Niley.
It's probably going to take him about being Rudolph about 15 minutes to complete his composure of what he was jotting down in his journal. It's fairly thick.
The journal itself.
Yes.
Does there appear to be any sort of locking mechanism on this journal?
You're not paying attention to it. You said you're obligatorily looking down. That's right. Good try. Good looking out. The rest of you, what do you want to do? Because Ben is playing the role of my wife now.
I'm having a silent conversation with your wife, mostly what the fuck, blah, blah, all kinds of stuff like that.
The kids under the table again.
I think after seeing that Theolova is like inconsolable, Rhodes is finally going to stand up and just be like, "Right, excuse me." And he will walk up to Ben and put a hand on his shoulder and whisper in his ear and say, "What the fuck is going on over here?"
With Rudy?
Who is this?
Oh, Rudy, meet Rhodey.
Oh, man. During that conversation that whispered, you're going to hear the half-elf male say, "Your friend would not grant me the privacy to finish what I was doing before I had to come to speak with you. He's insistent on waiting here." That's what he says, because he overheard what you were saying with a really high perception.
Right. Well, how about this? My friends have been through an incredibly traumatic day. How about we meet? What time of day is it?
Like
After
light cloudy or dark cloudy?
It's like, mid cloud.
Mid cloud. Okay.
Mid cloudy.
It's about mid cloudy, guys.
Like 5 o'clock?
Is this
Yeah.
Is this
Ooh, I'll have 2 more beers then.
It's a tavern and inn, correct?
The
inn portion is on the second floor.
How about we break for a while, or at least some of us do, and meet in the evening?
Dark cloudy. For all intents and purposes, for everyone to know the
I
time.
think some people could use a rest. They're at their wits' end.
For how gentle Rhodes is always, and how traumatic of a 48 hours Ben has had, I think this is the moment that kind of snaps him out of being on edge. I think this is the moment of being approached by a friend who has defended him in the past, and a friend who has consoled him, and they have had moments of fighting alongside next to each other, and he'll, I think, probably bow his head for a second and reach out and grab Rhodes' hand, or wherever it is, if it's on his shoulder or anything. Fart.
Oh, excuse me, is what Afram says.
And I will kind of look over at Rudolph and go, "I'm sorry, my friend is right." And I'll look back up and just very gently touch Rhodes' face. Go, "Thank you. Friend, yes, let's get some rooms.
Let us go pray."
Barkeep, and I will call the barkeep over, and I will get us whatever number of rooms we need.
Okay,
One giant room.
he's going to tell you that they only pair off in 2s.
That's,
He's got double beds essentially, so
That's fine.
it'll be like 2 silver for 3 different rooms, and you guys should be able to break up.
I'll give him another full bucket. I'll give him 5 gold pieces.
Oh, okay.
And I'll say, if you are looking at some people who just stood up to a dragon and some other horrible things, and we intend to do something about it, so any rest or privacy would be much appreciated. And as much food as you can send up to the room.
You got to move your microphone, James.
Oh,
I can barely
I'm sorry.
hear you.
And you can send it up to our room. All the food.
That's better.
Oh,
Yeah, I was.
We're on the struggle bus trying to hear like, what do you think?
Sorry. It was a quiet, intimate moment, so I got quiet and intimate.
Okay.
First.
Hot.
And so I'll buy all the rooms. I'm buying all the rooms, asking for privacy, and making sure we have food sent to all of the rooms.
That'll definitely cover it.
Great.
For sure. Yep.
And I'll clap Rudolph on his back rather hard. We'll see you later this evening.
I have a room here. That's what he'll say.
Good.
We'll find you.
And I'm
Okay.
basically gonna follow Rhodes and do what he says.
I want a room with Afram.
Okay.
He seems like the purest soul so far. I can deal with the gas.
Is that how he talks? We're all 12-year-old boys right now.
Oh, I'll look at Rhodes and I'll actually go, you know what? I might have some clothes for Avram in my trunk.
That would be great. He's rather beefy.
Are you trying to say this lithe, slender? I have tailoring skills, my friend. Don't you worry.
You're a bit Dexy, my friend.
Oh, that's so
Dexy.
gentle.
You're Dexy too.
Agile.
We're talking about dexterity right now, or
Yeah, and if I can get my trunk back, whatever room I get assigned to by Rhodes, I will immediately start tailoring some clothes for.
Sure.
this is assigning rooms like he's the chaperone. Just like, all right.
I'll start tailoring
Putting
clothes
tape
for
on your
Avram.
door so you can't go out.
That's how I would like to spend my short rest.
Okay. Are we doing short rests, correct? Are we going to
Yeah.
chill out in the rooms for a long rest? Like, what's the plan?
I think short rest.
Okay. How are we pairing up? We got Afram and Filova.
I am going to skip the short rest and do something else.
Okay.
I don't know, Rhodes. What room am I going into?
Yep, that room. Who's partnering up with Ben?
I'll partner up with Ben.
Amazing.
Okay.
I will be taking my short rest to just
I
rest.
assumed.
I
assumed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to go out and get some supplies because I need like arrows and stuff before something else
Sure.
happens.
I'll be going with Celeste.
Is this something you don't want anybody to know?
No,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
fine. Rhodes is going to try his best to figure out how he can get a draft horse basically for free
Okay.
from the city.
Let's
not.
I went there too.
Niley, do you get in the twin bed to like actually take a nap?
No, because I wouldn't feel safe there. I'd probably post up in a corner
Okay, where
where I could see like the door in the window if there's a window in the room, just to full eyes on the room.
seeing that,
Rest.
I'll actually drag one of the beds and put it in front of the door. And I'll just go
Okay.
rest, friend.
Yeah.
And I'll pull up my chair and I'll start stitching next to the bed.
Okay, then yeah, I would.
I just imagine him with his like measuring tape.
1000%.
He's holding
Just,
an egg
just about
after
three
this.
stick pins
Yeah.
at the side of his
A
mouth.
little puns
Yeah,
there,
got your glasses
and,
down.
Like just like doing this kind of legs crossed. I mean,
My favorite part about tailors is that they just reach into your crotch like there's nothing going on. Normal, this is my job.
Is this
Like,
comfortable?
oh,
Is there enough room down here? Is this seated properly?
Thank you. Oh yeah.
Stop squeezing. I'm good.
As soon as Afram and I entered the room, I probably would have had like a moment of that weird like lucidity. Like, Afram, I don't know why I feel like I can trust you. We kind of found each other at the same time. Like, I realized you're a human being, and like, you know, I just feel like you could really help me out. And like, you know, I start going a little bit panicky, like rant about like, I just feel like, I don't know, we should be here in this room together, and like, I don't know, you feel like a peaceful person, so like, yeah. And I think Ben's gonna make you some clothes, and I just start like kind of crying and like, you know. So then I mosey my way to the corner bed and just wedge myself in fetal position and cry and try to call for my gods to grace me with their love again.
Afram will get into the big spoon position as a cuddler, a friend.
We caught him when he was a horsey too.
And I think that he would just kind of like try to give you that sense of peace and rest so that you can kind of take a short rest if needed and kind of calm and see.
Buddy comedy.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion. We'll kind of montage you walking around trying to figure out what to do.
What
You
about a
can
gaslight?
Am I able to guide myself?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure you can cast guidance on yourself.
Unless you're an unwilling creature.
Are you unwilling?
Damn. Jesus. Shafting.
8.
Okay. We'll say you meander about for about the equivalent of a long rest, so 30 to 40 minutes. It is tough sledding. You're going to find a person, and this person will be a woman, and she is going to say, "Are you the ones that helped reunite my son with his puppy and me?" is what she says.
He's stealing my horse.
Yes, that was my friend, Amora.
Let's say
Oh, we're friends.
if you had, say, around 15 gold, I could get you a draft horse for that.
I've got that if you need it. You can always come
We
back
would
to
have that collectively as a group.
Yeah, I have no idea how much gold I have personally, so...
We'll make it happen though.
Okay.
Is he a human being too? Horse? Human horse?
No.
Afram have a friend?
No.
I feel connected to
Does
this
Afram
one.
still speak horse?
Occasionally, he's trying to break it. It's kind of one of those things. That's why he still farts. Loudly. He's a man of the cloth. Usually they're like, and done. Yep.
Yeah. If I have to go back and get it, I will. But,
Sure.
yeah.
Okay. 15 gold will get you a draft horse. Older draft horse, but very, very healthy looking.
I'll bring the horse to the cart.
Sure.
Also, I forgot to mention it, but somewhere in the church, I had just completely unclipped and dumped my breastplate.
That's right.
To run faster in the last session.
Mhm.
Could I have searched for that? Can I roll?
I would
for
say
it?
you would have found it. It's a little battle worn, but
Yeah.
still in good shape.
Okay, great.
I paid the money for the gold for the horse.
Good.
And then I'll come back to the tavern once I know that the horse is settled.
One thing you will notice when you come back to the tavern is everybody has dispersed some way, somehow. I'm assuming, correct? And Tavio, or Rudolph, will still be sitting there writing his book. Enjoying a pint of something.
I'll
Smoking a little pipe.
give him his privacy.
Okay. And you two, you guys going for a room for a long, short rest? A long, short rest.
Yes, one of those.
In the middle.
Arrows
4 hours.
first. Like,
A light
am I
cloud
able
arrow?
to find like 2 quivers of arrows somewhere?
You will be able to. It's going to cost you about. Everybody's going to be using, hey, we dragon, yo, help us out kind of vibe, even if you didn't, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Probably get you a quiver for about 15 gold. Actually, we'll call it 2 quivers for 15 gold here. So it's 60.
For 60 arrows.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure they're cheaper than that. But
Inflation, dragons attacking the city.
Barovian tax,
Yeah, taxes are
Zorovets
crazy here.
tax, yeah.
Demand is higher than
The supply, yeah. I really want it.
Shipping's a nightmare.
They can't ever get back.
Logistics, you can't even get over that.
Yeah, they need to book with a certain company.
No, they don't, because that certain company cost me 3 hours of a player yesterday, or 4 hours of a player.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yeah, I heard that.
yeah.
BQ. I'm really mad about it too.
BLT.
Those claims are going to be terrible.
And if everybody's good, you can all complete a short rest.
Yeah.
You can spend your hit dice to gather more life back.
And Niley, you
I will say, to the 3 people that did suffer the horrific flames of a shadow dragon, it's you now that you've completed a short rest, you feel as if the temperature is getting colder. it's hard to stay warm to where you have slight chills occasionally. You bundle up a little bit more. Stuff like that.
Natalie, you probably wake up to Ben just sitting next to you, kind of humming a little tune to himself in Sylvan. Though it's kind of almost sounds like a lullaby. And a massive bowl of whatever stew they have, just like piping hot and like ready for you.
Yeah, I'm sure she had great dreams and everything.
Super comforting.
I feel like everyone's dreams of a short rest would have been reliving the horror. What
Yeah.
could you have done differently?
Yeah.
Different avenues of this.
Yeah. She'd probably eat a little bit, but is way
Food
more.
tastes very bland.
Yeah.
It's warm. It's palatable, but it's like bad.
How are you feeling, Natalie?
Like I got flamethrowered by a dragon and lost.
I'm sorry I wasn't there.
I'm sure you were experiencing your own horror.
Oh, I was just having a little vacation in a lovely house in Barovia. I got back as fast as I could.
Yeah, you can't even lie well right now.
My silver tongue took a hit or two. Somebody sent me a message. Was that Rhodes or Filova?
I think it was me.
Yeah, it's one of us.
So Rhodes is the only person who's heard Ben's real voice. Is that right?
That would be correct.
All right. Natalie, I'm I don't want to leave your side again. So I'm sorry.
Well, good news. I don't think we can get out of here. So.
Why do you think that?
We've not been able to leave Barovia yet.
Doesn't mean we can't. Yaska, Esmeralda seems to have come here as well. Rudolph, I'm assuming if he was a mentor, they came here. They might know some paths. The Vistani, in and out of Barovia all the time. We just have to talk to the right people and do the right things, and we'll get out of here. I promise.
That's seeming a little bit more like a pipe dream by the moment.
Well, if we don't have dreams, Natalie, what's the point?
You don't have dreams. I had plenty of dreams.
And he's gonna...
I watched Ireena slip through my fingers because I wasn't fast enough.
We can get her back. We can get her
The
back.
look of horror and fear on her face was disturbing.
Natalie, could you stand up? You're about Avram's size. And I'm gonna hold...
Yeah, just stand up.
You're a man size.
And like while he's...
Built like a linebacker, gotcha.
While he's kind of like lining... Because you have like just like plate mail in general, right? I'm assuming you didn't sleep in your plate mail.
Funny enough.
I was like, I don't know that she would take it off. No, she probably didn't. So, yeah.
And you're gonna see, he's gonna kind of, he's gonna turn around, and he's gonna hold it up to your back. And then, you'll feel kind of something drape across your shoulder. And it'll be like a thicker kind of black wool scarf, like a heavier scarf almost. And then at the very bottom, you'll see in like a very bright red thread. It'll just say "Property of Niley" on the bottom of it. And he'll kind of rest his hands on your shoulder from behind and go, "You seem to have a bit of a chill while you were sleeping. Hopefully this makes you feel just a little bit warmer."
Oh, yeah, she would wrap it close around herself.
I'm gonna pop downstairs. You take your time. And I'm gonna open up the door. Avram! Avram, I have clothes for you! And I'll just scuttle on out.
Your friend is annoying.
I imagine that was his exact look.
He stands and his feet hit with a heavy thud, like...
when he gets up, he probably, I assume he probably fell asleep too, but when he gets up, I probably would have finally, like, found a way to, like, come back to reality, as sad as reality is, and I'd be sitting at, like, on a bed or at, like, a desk or a chair, just kind of reviewing my notebook where I keep dates and times of, like, big moments. They don't necessarily seem big to anyone else, but, like, moments where I've trusted people, moments where I have turned a corner with a person, and my experience with them, and that's just, like, kind of my talisman to reality right now. And I'd probably even look up at Afram and just say, like, can you look at my book? Like a real, like a nerd almost at that point. It's like, here's my dates and times. You want to look at me? And, like, kind of point out, like, and this was the day that Ben, I told him I would trust him, and this is the time where Celeste did this.
He will, like, as you're going through these things, he will go kind of sit cross-legged on the floor. He kind of takes your hands, kind of brings you down, and just kind of watches as you point through the book.
Yeah, I'm literally just, like...
You guys will be, like, facing each other, and he's just kind of, like, following along.
So when you walk in, Ben, with the clothing, that's
does
us.
he have clothing on? When...
He's got, like, a cloak.
He grabbed
Okay.
it. He would have grabbed the clothes.
Philo was pretty...
Just needed to make sure I have a mental picture.
Philo is pretty much, like, asexual as far as, like, attractiveness to people goes. She's like, you could be whatever you want. It doesn't mean I'm gonna make any moves. Like, you can be naked, that's fine. Human form. It's a non-sexualized anything, especially with Afra, because we're, like, basically brother and sister at this point.
I'll walk in and I'll go, oh, little powwow. Come on, Afram, I've got some clothes for you.
He stands.
And I have repurposed the farmer's outfit that I was wearing earlier, so, like, kind of the rough-hewn tunic with, like, a deep V-cut, just the tightest leather pants that he has, a big pair of boots, and a little bandana that he could wear around his neck. Just kind of,
yeah, right. He probably has a nice.
So yeah,
ass
he's
from being
like
on horse all
he's
the
like
time.
looking around, and the pants are like really form fitting around all the right features.
Yeah,
he kind of like raises his leg a little bit, kind of looks at the boots, kind of takes the V and just a little bit more, so it goes like belly button.
Just sits there.
He looks like Gaston.
He's got...
That was wonderful.
Maybe the sexual feelings are a little bit there now.
We're quite good at this, is what he'll say. It fits pretty good.
So are you, Afram. So are you.
He literally kind of like does like this little step in his boots, and his little rump twitches a little bit.
What is he doing? A little pose?
So he's like, this looks around. This will do nice.
Give us a little spin.
Sure. It looks good.
Awesome.
It's all them years of being a horse.
He picks both of you up and starts curling.
Just full on curls. All right. Well, I hope you all ate some food, and I'll meet you downstairs, and I'll make my way downstairs.
You go downstairs.
Yeah, and I just...
You will see Esmeralda. She is waiting patiently, and she says, we don't have a whole lot of time because your friend, this Ireena that you've claimed to be concerned about, doesn't have a lot of time if she's in the grasp of the vampire lord. Sorry.
Agreed. In the great words of Rudy, let's wait for the rest of the party.
I'm assuming everybody will filter down.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would get armor on.
So everybody gets themselves prepared, makes their way down to the tap room, which is still servicing quite a few patrons. Seems to be a pretty happening, popular point.
Is there any... This is a weird question. Is there any indication... Because it's like a bumpin' tavern. Is there any indication of, like, a secret panel or secret rooms or, like, writings on the wall? And the only reason that's making me think of this is, like, we saw that tunnel that had the raven carving on it, and we saw more ravens. Is there anything about this inn that is, like, not as it seems? Because if it's as happening as it is, that's odd for, like, how we've encountered the rest of the world. The rest of the world has been pretty barren, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that from what little you've had around here too, like the tap room and your rooms and things like that, you may have spotted some raven motifs, but they're worked in very subtly, but nothing that would indicate anything other than just
We like ravens here.
design
Okay.
and architecture. That's about it.
Where'd you go to the bar?
The bar. What's his name? He has a name. I know he does. Somewhere, maybe in this book of lore. No, there's a thing.
It's gotta be Frank
Govia.
Govia.
Frankovia.
Frankovia.
Erwin
Oh.
Mardikoff.
Ovia.
Well-
Martikovia.
Govia.
Mardikoff. So he is a fairly large male, very well stacked and built. Older, he's got a little salt and pepper in the hair, mostly on the sides. They kind of worked in that, kind of feathered in. Plenty of like sunspots, wrinkles to show that he's, been in the elements and such. What can I do for you?
Greetings. Could I order a pot of strong tea?
Yeah, so he will look towards the barmaiden, who is actually, he addresses as Honey, or his wife. And she was, I will take care of that. I know exactly what you're looking for, and she will get on that.
Great, thank you.
I am wrapped in my blanket and I'm like shivering. I'm not a huge.
4 silver.
I don't have like a huge body mass to keep me
I was
warm or
gonna say,
anything, so I'm just like.
I'll throw gold on the counter as I'm walking by roads to get to the table.
Okay. What is your plan, is what Esmeralda says. What is going on here? I means to hunt down the Strahd.
We plan to
Lord.
get our friend back.
Then what is your plan? I am here to help, because two of these problems can be eliminated at the same time. If I help you, you can help me.
Our understanding is that we should travel to...
Markovia.
City? Markovia?
The Abbey. We need to go.
Abbey?
Okay, so what are the things that we have? We've got just kind of above the table. We've got the symbol
Yeah.
of Ravenkind.
We've got
The ring?
the ally.
The ally, maybe that has yet to be
Potentially.
confirmed.
If you mention the Abbey of St. Markovia, that is where she was, where she came from. So
Oh,
is
okay.
what she'll say.
Oh.
There's
I
our
came
ally.
from there to find you here.
And why were you in Markovia?
What's the other one?
The Abbey of St. Markovia?
Yes.
Because the cards told me, is what she says.
Right, we need the sword.
You.
If you remember, she.
Oh, that's right.
if you remember-
She reads the tarot
The tarot
cards as well.
Correct.
Don't we also need a wizard or sorcerer of some kind?
Wizard on the lake.
Wizard on the lake and the sword are the last two.
Wait, I
things
thought
that we need.
I thought the Wizard of Lake was just a story that we heard.
It was a story that we heard, but also I thought it showed up in the tarot cards.
The Wizard on the lake.
The sword. It's a special sword.
Was it a Wizard on a Lake or a tower on a lake?
Sword? Sun sword.
Sun sword?
I think was in the name of the sword, but
Do we know where to find it?
I can't remember the card.
See a faceless god and a
Yes.
long winding road.
And when we were coming to Vallaki, we kept looking at they had these stone giants, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for a faceless one.
Which we
On
have
the
yet,
gates. Each of the
which
gates
we've
had
yet
a-
to find.
Correct.
So we haven't got to the end of the road yet.
And the wizard on the lake.
We're missing-
looking for the
We're missing like
sword.
A lake and a wizard.
we're like missing
Yeah, but-
information on him. Like we're missing knowledge, right? It was like
That guy writing seems like he's kind of wizardy and hermity, who might live on a lake.
You're looking for a tome.
Oh, the
Strahd's
history.
tome is what Rudolph is going
Strahd's-
to
oh,
say.
Rudolph says
It
this.
was
History card.
Strahd's tome.
Rudolph, how'd you have we ever heard Strahd's? He's only been referred to as Von Zarovich.
Yeah. I mean,
Correct,
not
and
good
Esmeralda
Strahd.
literally just called him by Strahd too
Oh.
in the conversation. Just,
Wait, what do you two know about this Strahd?
Esmeralda looks at you like, really?
Yes, really, Yaska, Ezzy.
I traveled back and forth from here. I've had a lot of experiences with what he's done to these lands, is what she says. He is the Baron of this area, or the self-proclaimed Lord overall. He is a vampire. She continues on to say he has he's looking for a means to bring back his lost love, which I'm assuming might be this Ireena.
Wait, what do you mean a lost love?
Oh, there's so much to catch them up on.
Well, that sounds like a beautiful love story.
Let's just say we are very versed and educated in the history of Barovia, is what Rudolph is going to say.
Before the barmaid comes back with tea, Rhodes has a thought. He's going to get the holy symbol of Ravenkind out and just lay it out on the table.
And that is another one, is what Esmeralda is going to say. Good job. Lots to you.
What's that?
We fought many beasts and creatures for this medallion. It was...
medallion.
It's
This
that.
is another of the items we needed.
Yeah, it's a vampire repellent and an undead repellent.
It's
Where's the holy symbol card?
it's another aid.
How long have the two of you been here?
Well, I come and go here and there, is what Tavio is going to say.
Are you...
She does likewise.
Rudolph, are you Vistani as well?
I am not. I hail from somewhere else.
Could you...
But I have a hatred for vampires, as does she, and I'm assuming at this point all of you.
Mm.
Not a fan.
You see, a vampire took my child from me.
What? How?
Fairly simply, he went, and then he was turned, as he makes a biting motion.
I'm sorry to...
Slayed my wife, took my child, converted my child into one of his
Unholy minions.
spawn, if you will, the technical term.
Who said that?
Is your son...
This is
Is
Rictavio.
your son still alive?
No, he is not. You look at him and he kind of gestures towards a cane that he has.
Oh.
And then when you see the cane, he kind of taps the cane a little bit, but then you can also notice that he has a side satchel that's near the cane. That probably would be like a vampire hunter's kit.
Oh, shit.
I had to take the life of my own son, is what he says very boldly.
Insight check. Is he sad about this at all, or is he like a sociopath?
No. He's not a sociopath, but he's numb.
Okay.
The time of mourning has kind of drained him, and more of his elven heritage probably would keep him that numb. Because, elves typically are a little bit more even keel, very low emotion.
Okay.
You live that long, you see like
And he's hunted many vampire and werewolves. This land is rife with them, is what he's saying. The only one he hasn't been able to get is, and he points in the direction of where the Castle Ravenloft would be resting.
Can you tell us about some of Strahd's capabilities?
He can be anywhere, anyone, anytime. He could be one of these patrons in the bar if he chooses. He has many spies and minions he can call upon. That is why he is elusive and very difficult to hunt.
He said he could be anyone.
Such as...
Can I
He looks around.
Can I insight check the motherfucker telling us this information and see if
Rudolph,
this is
sure.
Strahd?
You could try.
Can he be two ravens perched over the door?
He can be a wolf, a bat, a raven. He can be anything.
19
He
is my
chooses.
insight check.
30-20.
Oh no, this guy is... You're buying into what he is. It's too... I don't know how to... It's too natural, too quick, too responsive to be...
Trying to dupe us.
Yes.
he's talking straight, not in circles.
And you mentioned that you and Ez parted ways. Are you going to be able to work together?
We'll be fine, is what she says. Your insight checks will still be active. You can see that based off the little body language and communications to speed up the gaming process, essentially. Rictavio started to care for her more than a mentor. He was more of a daughter, like a daughter figure since he lost all of his. And she was becoming a little too invested and things were getting a little too much.
Okay.
So he did like a lot of people do. I'm shunning you. You need to go away. I don't want to work with you anymore to keep her safe. So he thought. Does that make sense?
She tracked him down.
I think everybody's insight rolls were adequate to know that. She has since obviously gone her own way, found herself, developed her own personalities, and is a lot more mature than kind of that point. She is also literally a Vistani as well.
Yeah.
So she does have the ability to kind of go to and fro.
I'm sorry if this is a dumb question. I'm almost afraid to ask at this point, but is Strahd a Vistani?
No, he is not.
The
The Vistani rescued him from his deathbed.
Oh.
So
That'll coincide with the story that the old man told you at the fire.
yeah. So the fact that we were brought here by Vistani to help their land. What did they fuck up or something? What?
I'm going to say Rictavio is going to be knowledgeable enough with what he's got to basically say, from what he's been able to gather through his time of adventuring or traversing the lands. There is a love-hate relationship, but there's kind of like a parlay between them, if that makes sense.
Oh, so they're not allowed to act against each other, kind of?
Strahd kind of gave his word that they would be safe, and because they saved his life, and they kind of can be free to do what they want. So take it for what it's worth.
Got it.
Well, I have a bit of a crazy idea. He knows where we are at all times, correct?
For the most part, yes.
Well, as you all know, I'm a bit of a charlatan. And
Just gets a laugh out of Fila, but even though she's catatonic most of the
he'll
time.
just kind of gently smile at her, and he'll say, the best thing that charlatans can do is, and I'll pull out a coin in one hand and then make it appear in the other. It's a bit of...
The coin that you pull out is different than a typical coin that you pull out when you look at it.
Oh.
It'll be a silver or platinum looking coin, but the mint has a bat on one side and the face or side profile of Strahd on the other. And then when you do that, you're like, what the fuck?
Well, isn't that tricky? A bit of misdirection, I would think, might help. And I'll kind of just put the coin down on the table and just shift it away from me, ever so slightly.
Mm-hmm.
This town was just attacked. It is natural for people to rise up in situations like this. What if we were to cause a bit of a distraction here while we're running our errands? The more we can catch him unawares, the upper hand we might have.
So you're seeing being chaotic, irrationally thinking.
Exactly.
Man, I'm good at that.
Your method is sound.
Perhaps, I don't
feel
know,
as if
start a revolution.
Oh, man.
Viva.
it's going to be extremely tough to rally the troops around these parts as he kind of adjusts his glasses, as most of them have been there for years, decades, centuries, is what he says. See, most of these people, as he leans in, you may not be aware of this. If you look around, there are various shades of people, is what he says. And what I mean by that is some are a little bit more healthier looking, to where some of them are a little bit more bland or gray or drab. Most of them have died and have been stuck here, their souls trapped for who knows how long. The Vistani, if you haven't noticed, are very cheerful in color, full of life in their flesh, is what you'll say.
I'll look over at...
He locks eyes specifically on Ben, Niley, Philua.
I'll look over at...
Is that noticeable?
Oh, he ain't hiding it. He's just being subtle.
Great.
That doesn't
Are
seem
we in a
subtle
veil
either.
between the worlds? We all died and came here, and
I don't
we're
think
lost
we
souls
all
running
died.
around.
You were all brought here by someone, and that someone was of a style.
I'll look at
Esmeralda will chime in.
Esmeralda.
As Esmeralda will chime in and say, the core of you were brought here by Madame Eva, is what she says. You, specifically, I chose because I saw something in you, pointing to Ben.
What is your relationship to Madame Eva?
Whose? Hers?
That's an 18 insight.
She doesn't have a functional relationship. She's part of the Vistani, or was part of the Vistani. She doesn't elaborate too much other than she knows Madame Eva has been here longer than most can remember.
Can I get a sense of whether she's like, F Madame Eva, I don't agree with her practices, or more like, she's an old crone and I just
So
kinda...
your insight check is because of what she can do with the tarot cards. She has that visionary that, if you remember, we all rolled to see who believes it or not.
Mm-hmm.
She has the ability to play or read. There's a respect. She's trying to, in her brain or through her investigations, figure out the purpose and how and why she has so much influence over the Vistani.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't put any of that together. She doesn't understand what the tie or what is the reason, essentially.
But she doesn't give off some kind of like, this is the right hand of Strahd, and so I'm killing her as part of
No.
Yeah.
No.
she's
Esmar, yes, it's more of a unsolved mystery, if you will.
Okay.
She's trying to. She is a knowledge thirst, is what she is. I'm trying to be the best hunter of creatures and vampires and wolves or whatever, and I have to gain everything. This stems from what Rudolph would have trained her, as he literally has journals upon journals in which he's got notations, and he's literally, like you said, like Van Helsing. He's got a ton of things that you guys haven't seen, but that's the vibe that's going on here.
And then, do you have any idea why Madame Eva is streaming groups of people to come in here and die?
I have a theory, is what Rudolph will say. Whether you believe it or not is up to you.
I mean, hit us.
He reaches into a satchel in which you will see a couple well-carved wooden stakes that kind of peek out, a few vials of holy water that have been labeled. There is a unique kind of mechanism that just piques your interest, but you can't quite make it out. He pulls out a very old-looking, leather-bound, kind of cracked journal. He puts it down, opens it up, and the writing is fantastic. It is penmanship to its finest. But the ink is kind of beginning to smudge or fade, because this is a very old book. It's his handwriting. Ben can attest, because you've seen his handwriting, as he starts to kind of thumb through. Based off some of his travels, he believes there's some sort of link or tie between Madame Eva and Strahd. He believes that whatever this link is, Madame Eva is the one that is summoning people for a specific reason. He believes it could be to liberate or free Strahd. But that's a theory that he has. And this book is, he would even say this is like one of his first journals when he began.
As he's thumbing through the book and we're catching kind of glimpses of the written language, is it written in any sort of, like, what he's telling us, does it match what's written in the book? I.e., is it written in any sort of thieves' cant or coded language or anything like that?
Okay, that's a good one. Go ahead and give me an investigation.
Oh. 17 plus 6, which is 23.
No, it coincides. It's written in common. It coincides kind of. He's paraphrasing, obviously, and kind of skimming through, but there is no secret or hidden agenda. If that's what I'm assuming that's what you were kind of getting at. Right now, it's an open book to where he is kind of like, come to Jesus meeting here, like, essentially.
I would like to, excuse me for a moment. I'm going to grab a drink, and I'm going to go up to the bar, and on my way to the bar, I want to scan the room and see if anybody is watching us intently. Like if we're like being.
Your passive, is it higher than a 15?
Oh yeah, it is.
Okay. Your passive will indicate that people are looking, but it's not like they're studying intently.
Okay.
Just casual glances here and there. They may be looking to see if their conversations are listened into, and then they focus. There will be, no really indications that you're being listened to.
Okay, so nobody where it's like, oh, Strahd is that person listening to us. Okay.
Strahd could have been anywhere, anybody, anytime.
I'm sure.
In my brain, I know where he would be or how he was. Yeah. You guys may have been heard many a times. You may be in his presence many a times. You just don't know.
He always comes to me. So
He's very intelligent.
Yeah. Okay.
I was gonna say it wouldn't be someone staring intently at us. I don't think.
Could be. Could be enough to just fuck with your head and burst into bats. Who knows?
Perhaps it would be good at this time to discuss all of our goals individually.
Well, if his intent is to do a ritual on your friend Ireena to bring back his lost love, Tatiana, then your time is of the essence. If she is strong at willed, then you may have a chance, but you don't have a large time frame. Maybe a 10-day, maybe 2 if you're lucky.
She's strong-willed.
She's strong-willed.
We should hope.
Yeah.
Tatiana.
Oh fuck.
I'm gonna.
Welcome to the info dump.
Right.
Episode.
I love this. I'm going to look at Afram and be like, "Are you handy with a dagger or a mace?"
Rose, what would he have been prominent with, since he was kind of your
Is he also a
imaginative kind of mentor?
Is he also a cleric?
Yes.
We can get him a holy symbol.
Yeah, I think he's a shield and mace kind of guy.
There you go.
I'm gonna give
Old school shield and mace.
I'm gonna give him my mace. I don't have a shield right now, Afram, but here's at least a mace for
this
you.
table will do.
Damn dog.
Just a table.
To just protect yourself with that ass. I'm just saying. So I'll give that to him and say we'll find you a holy symbol when we can. So
Don't
you
you,
can start.
Rhodes? Don't you have an extra holy symbol?
Yeah, because you got the new one.
Yep.
You would have had your old one.
We came across a cleric of
That's true
Oh
too.
yeah.
Okay.
So we've got.
Here's a holy symbol, Afram.
This will do.
My goals here are at this point to find out if I can even leave, but originally I was kind of looking for my memories, and then that all went to shit. So I think just survival, and Ireena seems cool. We should probably get her, and I'm here to support any decision we make.
I've got a question for the GM. In the past, would I have had a general sense of where bargains that I have made where those people are? Just like a general sense of their well-being, if the bargain is still intact, that sort of stuff?
While you were here?
Any bargain that I've made. Like any sort of...
No.
Okay.
You do not. If you tap into that kind of aspect, you feel completely shut out, closed door, which is a little chilling to you. You feel as if another door has been opened. That's the best way I can describe it.
While they're having a discussion about their goals and dreams, I want to take a moment where I close my eyes and I reach out to wherever I think Ireena's bargain is. If I can get any sense of her well-being or where she is. Because I struck that bargain with her, which was protect these people.
Sure. So, dark vision, everything gets kind of muffled until it's quiet. Your sound or the ambience transfers into kind of swamp ambience. Crickets, swamp-like frogs, toads, things like that. The smell of must and rotted vegetation and plant life kind of fills. There is essentially a large, almost like a chicken leg that plants into a water. Another one followed by it, as there's this gigantic walking log cabin. And you're going to see the visage of a crone or a hag-like figure who just kind of looks at you and says, "Naughty, naughty."
No!
Naughty, naughty. Do you miss me, Benny?
Here's the thing. It's not the same hag. This hag looks far more superior, if that's even a right
Well,
phrase or
with,
word.
with Granny, who is probably at the top of her food chain in some way, shape, or form, are we saying on par with that, or?
No, I'm saying it looks more like your grandmother, right about that level, probably a little higher. Because I don't know if yours was just was grandmother just a hag?
She was.
No, she was
I think she was
like-
probably a step up. Whatever.
Like a baba?
Yeah, like a baba,
Yeah.
probably.
Well, then they're probably on the same level. But you've never seen this visage of this person
Never,
before.
ever.
But you feel the burn of the threads on your wrist.
Do we have any kind of effect of this when this happens? Like, are we having
Negative. No.
any background?
Thank God.
He's just kind of like, he's like doing this. Like he's kind of like trying to gather composure.
As
I would
soon
assume
as
would be
he,
like your
He's
posture.
probably just
Something
he's
like,
probably
oh, I
just
need a
doing
moment.
something like this, where he's just like
Yes. Yeah.
running. And probably when he hears the naughty naughties, he'll just kind of snap up and cross his arms and be.
The other two of you will hear whispers of naughty naughty faintly in your ear to cause you to react, but you like,
Yeah,
what the fuck
let's
was
just
that?
kind of give a quick look around.
PTSD.
Yeah, literally.
Namora has been watching Ben like a hawk, and we've had nowhere to like kind of interject into the conversation. So as soon as he seems to like take his break from the conversation, she's going to message him and say, "I have questions about what you did and what bargain was struck for their lives."
I think Ben was over by the bar at that point, and he'll probably just look up and cock his head for a second, and he'll just give you just a little nod, and won't respond psychically. He'll just kind of acknowledge and just the general body language of, okay, let's talk. Like we can chat.
Any further? Let's figure out what we want to do with this conversation.
Oh, you guys were going
I
over your
would
goals.
say
Sorry.
Beyond our desire to help Ireena and Ismark, I believe everyone here, of course, has their own goal of returning to their homes.
Me.
Yes.
So I would ask our new allies to keep that in mind. We are not professional vampire hunters.
You have skills that is more than most here that are not affected by Strahd.
So far.
How do we cause enough chaos to distract Strahd and get all the things we need to get, though?
Oh, I think it's possible, is what Esmeralda will say looking around at the group.
And that's not a compliment.
It wasn't meant to be. Just an evaluation.
We attack the Vistani camp.
I don't know that that's
I
our
don't
best
think
plan.
that would be a good idea, is what Rudolph will say.
I'm not smart.
I'll
Yeah.
come back
Good
and
idea.
I'll say, well, perhaps there's a way we can enlist them, beg for their aid, perhaps give us something to hide our movements.
There is a camp not far from here, just up the road, is what Rudolph will say. Not the road and traveling camp, but one that's more permanent here. He'll say it's like north, several miles north of Falaki.
Esmeralda, will you have trouble? Are you banded from the Vistani?
Not banded, no.
Could you?
Yeah,
curry
she can
favor?
travel amongst them. They don't necessarily, welcome me with open arms, is what she says, but I'm a big girl. I can handle my own.
So this is another harebrained scheme with enlisting their help.
And
instead
where is this plan about the other two relics that you need or were searching for?
Tyler, where's a lake? Are there a lot of lakes in this region?
To the north.
Where's the camp?
Lake Zarovich.
This man doesn't
That's
have
correct.
a very small ego, does he?
Yeah.
Rudolph?
No, Lake Zarovich.
there was
He's
a-
naming everything after
yeah.
himself.
There was a sun sword by a faceless
End of a
statue.
long road.
End of a long road, faceless statue, sword.
And
Does that sound
you
familiar?
mentioned the Tome of Strahd.
I think I know
Rictavio will be the one, as he will pull out a map.
Oh.
And he unfurls it. And he believes, based off the limited description that you gave him, he believes there is a place called the Amber Temple that kind of matches that vague.
So I'm getting a sense he's not been there.
He knows of it, but he has no need to go to it currently.
And we also must...
He knows the location. He may have been nearby and kind of like scouted the area, marked it on his map so that it...
Ooh, where on the map? South, west, east, 2 days,
North,
5
hopefully.
days.
Let me give you his
also
map.
have to
20
go
seconds.
to the
Downward.
Abbey of Markovia, is that right?
Couple hours.
Yeah.
Jump right over.
Abbey at Markovia. That's where Esmeralda's from.
Yeah,
right?
we've got her.
Oh, she
We
was...
just
She
need
was...
2 more
Got
days.
it. She was at the Abbey of
Yes.
Markovia. She's coming
It
from
was-
us.
yeah.
And then she came to find you because you stole her ring.
That is his map. That
Or
is
the DM was
Rictavio's
nice
map of
because we
all
were
the
taking
places
too long
that
and
he
was
has
like,
jotted
here,
down
freezing green.
over his many years. And he tells you to be very careful with that map because it is very fragile and old.
We spill a drink. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm
we are
kidding.
here. It's a
There's-
huge lake.
there's-
So
Oh, okay. So where does he put the
Sorry,
Amber Temple?
Ben, you can't see this
It's
map.
okay.
where are we now?
I'll take a picture for you, Ben.
Ben's at the...
Oh, we're super close.
Yeah, where?
Where's Strahd's
It's probably
temple,
the place name.
tower?
Amber Temple.
Strahd's here.
Okay.
Okay, quite far away. Yes, and the
X. Where's X?
Oh, and we're
X.
supposed...
It's not in ABCD. It's somewhere up here. That's why
X.
X.
That's the Amber
That's
Temple.
so far down.
Esmeralda,
In the mountains too.
I'm gonna ask.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Esmeralda,
We're really
DM.
close to X, aren't we?
See, we can get
I'm
Sure.
gonna ask her. Would you consider yourself well connected
This
here in
one
the lands of Barovia?
It's right
Barovia.
here.
Define well
Well
protected.
connected.
We kind of went this way.
Yeah. So we need to go here first.
Connected, you said.
And
Well
if we have enough
connected.
time, X.
She has some
So far down.
contacts.
Do we have all of this knowledge that's on?
That
One
is
hex
his
a
map.
fourth of a mile.
So we have this
So
knowledge.
there's-
So 4 of these miles.
That is his map with all of his notations on it. He even tells you
Oh Jesus.
that like I said, that is everything he has collected for his
Right.
many years of travel.
6 miles.
So a day and a half, 2 days, maybe we're thinking.
You could
There's
get there
no
in a
way.
day. You could get there in a day.
A day to Amber Temple.
So I spent
Am I
a
calling it
week
the right
running
thing?
around
I was
terrified.
gonna say,
in
look
what
how
part of life?
long, look how long it took us to get from
Yeah.
here to
You
there.
probably would have come in from like that south.
Yeah, but we
West
also had an
corner.
old ass horse. No offense, Avram. We had an old ass horse, a bad cart, and we were being careful.
There's no way we're getting.
If
It's
we're going to
also
cause
mountain.
a lot of chaos, we don't need to be careful
It
anymore.
is mountainous terrain and such.
And
like
like we're
that.
definitely gonna need
Right.
like cold weather clothing because the map is white, and that would assume snow, for me.
That was just a bad picture.
Oh, okay.
It's lighter.
That's-
but
that's what we're gonna say.
necessarily.
I'll ask if it gets cold.
It could just be like rocky.
In higher terrains of elevation, colder is what he'll say. Mostly you contend with heavy rains, fogs, storms such as that.
Got it. Okay.
Esmeralda will chime in and say that Lord Zarovich, Strahd as we refer to him, has control over the lands, so depending on how close or far you get away from something, things may intensify drastically, making your trek harder.
Yeah, no offense. In full offense, he's a dick.
No, I'm just kidding. Haunting laughter.
Okay, so plan, briefly, is cause as much chaos as we can, which as pointed out should not be difficult for us if we just get left to our own devices. And then book it to the Vistani camp, ask for help.
Where's
Hopefully
the
find a-
Vistani camp?
It's north of here by the lake.
No, it's this way.
I thought you said it was north.
What letter?
I thought he said it was several miles that way.
No, he said it was north of Valaki, should have been.
Yeah, it's north of
Oh,
Wait,
Balaki,
no, I thought
so...
the lake is north of.
You said the lake
What's
was north of
M?
Valaki.
I'm pretty sure the camp was that
The
way.
Mad
Yeah.
Mage of Mount.
He said that... He also said that the
Barovia.
Vistani camp was north.
Well, hang on. Now you got me double.
Mount Barovia. That
questioning
sounds
yourself.
like
What is?
there.
It should
I
be
don't
on the
think it'd
map.
be in any of those.
What's it say?
It doesn't.
Look at letter V. What is letter V?
B, the tower.
Okay.
Von Richten's tower.
What is N is Velaki.
Yes.
Flocky is in.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
it's gotta be O is the
So that's like a half a
bone
day, if that. It's only that's only like a mile away.
Sorry.
With 4 of these is.
I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna. So while everybody's poring over this map, I'm gonna look at Esmeralda.
It's not even a
and
mile.
ask her
I thought it
Oh,
was
3 miles, yes.
if
Yeah.
we were to leave
I was
her
counting for you.
behind.
I was like, wait, what?
Could she?
What?
If we were to leave Esmeralda behind here, could she start sowing seeds of chaos across the land to distract Strahd from finding us? So
Yeah,
cause
maybe we need to
She-
actually revolt.
She will confidently look and say, I can absolutely do that, whereas Rudolph would say, I will not allow that. I would rather do that myself and run the risk of wrath than have her.
Well, I'm sure they can come to an agreement together somewhere.
As that'll start a little squabble between kind of the two of them of like a father-daughter banter back and forth.
Never know we did anything fun. This is the one we were
perhaps
to.
breaking the shackles of the Dark Lord himself. Something along those lines. How effective is
But
the
that is our
How
plan.
effective is the Burgermeister here?
Nice. Just kidding.
The Burgermeister is extremely influential. I would not choose to cross him.
But what if we were to enlist him in this?
That's all I do.
That
Right here.
I don't think would be possible, is what
It's not a
Rudolph is
wizard on
going
the
to say.
lakes.
Rudolph, you seem to be so well educated, and obviously you do a lot of studies in these fields, but certainly somebody helped you with getting started, aside from, your child being brutally murdered. Is there a society of you all? Can we lean on the help of some of your network that are trusted? Did I miss this question?
Rudolph has very little contacts that would be left here because of the amount of time he spent here. They've all either been singled out or something to that effect. Esmeralda has a little bit more influence, but it's like one of those things where as you make these contacts, they'll quickly find their way to be unalived because he controls the land. Now, if you go to the Velaki map, get rid of that paper map of his. The camp you want is down at N9, which is down here.
Okay.
Got it.
So
really
you all
close.
have some society of vampire killers that
Nope.
convenes once a 10-day to...
If there is anyone who does what we do, they usually will be converted.
I want to ask them about the tunnel that we found.
Oh.
The raven symbol. Have you guys come across that in your travels over this land? Do you know what it leads to, what it is?
Rudolph is going to say that is for the Order of the Were Ravens.
Sorry?
The Order of the Were Ravens, or as they would be referred to, I'm pretty sure it's the Order of the Feathers.
Okay.
Let me double check on that.
Yeah. Take your time.
Have I had the subconscious urge to dig for worms outside? Am I a burden?
Sorry, the Keeper of the Feathers.
The Keeper.
My apologies, as he goes through his notes.
What does that mean?
That they are a group of people that are were-ravens that do not like Strahd.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So, potential allies. Got it.
Insight checks, please.
Everybody?
If you are a part of this conversation, absolutely.
9.
Natural 20 for 27.
Jesus. 12.
Did you say inside?
17.
Nat 20. 24.
The 20s and 17 all going to see very subtly, but there is a reaction from the barkeep when this whole conversation starts.
Erwin?
Like a
Correct.
fear reaction?
Apprehensive, as if, uh-oh.
I'm not down the rest of my
Does he
drink.
start having beady eyes and looking around
Nope,
like...
nope, he's very good and just
Birdseed,
kind of plays
birdseed.
it off and, oh, shoot, drop something that's down and kind of...
Who
goes
else
about it.
noticed? Anyone else? that I
Not
see
the
looking
sisters.
towards me?
Oh wait, did you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did. It was me and
17.
Ben.
I did not.
Who got the
Ben
other
did
spots?
not get it.
Me
It
and Ben
was
didn't get it.
Celeste, it was Nymora, it was Rhodes, and it was
Yeah.
Philip.
I'm going to put my holy symbol over here.
I'm going to kind of look at the barkeep when I notice that, because I rolled extremely high. I'm just going to kind of give him a look like, noted. Like, you're not necessarily in danger.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. Here's your tea, is what the wife will say as she kind of like quickly interrupts your noted gaze.
Mm-hmm. Caw.
Looks strange.
Paw.
Aw.
I mean, thank you.
No, it's pronounced shy.
Oh, yes. I get confused. The other, like, I got my memory wiped. It's a whole thing.
I'm gonna look over at Avram and Rhodes and be like, you mentioned that you are clearly a militant order of some kind. I've seen your prowess in battle. I've seen Avram's bulk. What would cause a militant order like yourselves to want to pilgrim to this land?
Well,
You should take this one, Rhodes. That's what Avram will say.
Do you have a connection
we
to
are
this land?
militant. We are militant in the sense that we are called to protect those who are good and guide them.
But this land
We're from
specifically.
an order called the Church of Ezra, although Avram and myself are more ambiguous in our connection to the divine. Twilight itself is our
We're slightly renegades.
yes.
Rebellious people.
We excel in places like this, and our calling is to simply guide and comfort and help and protect people.
Special ops.
Interesting.
Hand on your shoulder, subtle squeeze. Well done.
Does Avram have a mullet, like from his old horse
No,
mane?
I refuse to give him a mullet.
He has a horse mane.
No, it's like
He can-
long, flowy hair.
I would give him like a big curly like mohawk, but I'm not giving him a mullet.
Can't do it.
You see
Dreams
Ben.
are shattered.
It
This
would
is more
be-
traumatizing than all the other stuff that happened to Philo.
I see what?
It would be easy for a person to see the darkness in a land like this as purely bad, but there's good to the twilight as well.
We look upon it as a place that needs light given to it.
The warming of the fire in the nighttime.
Freedom.
Sure, we'll go with that.
He's writing that down. It's a good one. Write that down. Write that down.
Clearly this land is corrupt.
Are there tales of other orders like yours that are here?
Ours. There are other orders within the church. There are other churches.
Could we enlist their help?
Yes.
Most of the other orders of churches have been pretty much compromised, desecrated, taken out by Strahd von Zarovich.
I look at Esmeralda. Well, you
On
just
that
came
note-
from the Abbey of St. Markovia. Would they be willing to help?
It is possible if you wish to travel there. There might be someone able to lend a hand, a helping hand if you wish. So, course of action is what Rudolph is going to say. Everyone is good at creating chaos as I can see and getting off track. What are we doing?
Everything as
To the
quickly
lake?
as possible.
To the lake?
The lake?
Point one. Where are we going first?
Lake.
Okay. Next point.
Amber Temple.
Okay.
Where's St. Markovia's Abbey? Is it on the way?
None of it's really on the way, but okay, the Abbey. What's next after that?
Chaos.
No, we have to go.
Chaos.
What do we need at the Abbey?
We don't really need anything at the Abbey. We need our last two. We need to find the wizard, if he's even there. It's just a pipe dream.
The tome.
Yeah.
The tome.
It's not a wizard, it's a book.
Not necessarily.
It's got secrets about
Yeah.
Strahd. It's
And
his
it was at the lake, or it was at the Abbey of... I'm getting this confused.
No, that's at the lake. No, the tome is at the lake.
I believe we need to acquire the last 2 items, which is the lake and the temple.
And then we need to save Ireena.
I thought the wizard was just a story that we heard at the camp about how Strahd just like fought some wizard.
And he fell. But he still could have had the tome that had all of his secrets. Wizard could have
That's true,
stolen
that's
that,
true,
or
that's true,
I don't
that's
know,
true,
maybe
that's
had
true.
it.
Well, perhaps if we go to the Vistani camp, then
Okay, new course of action. Vistani camp, lake,
Hold
find
on.
the tome.
Wait. Number 1.
Vistani camp.
And this is...
We're
We're staying at the Vistani camp?
Lake.
Is that the goal?
Yeah.
Okay.
You wanted to go there, Ben.
I wanted to see if they would help us. I'm trying to get as many
And they
allies
might.
as we can
And they might.
to just
Sorry.
cause some
Are
shit.
the Vistani not incapable of acting against Strahd directly? Is that
They're
not...
just in the middle of a parlay right now. So they both can't act against each other, if I'm understanding the word correctly, from a movie franchise that I cannot name.
But isn't that why they've co-opted
Pirates
us?
of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean, yes. Pirates of the Caribbean.
There you go.
There, thank you. I had a stroke.
But that doesn't mean that they can't
I had an
act
idea
through
about-
other people. Like
Very good.
they could... We could say, hey, we know you can't do bad things against Strahd, but could you cause so much shit to happen in the land that we are invisible? Whether that's bringing a shit ton of new people here, or inciting revolutions, or, I don't know,
Yes.
going and hiring an army from Waterdeep and saying, hey, we've got this really cool guy in a really cool tower. We can guide you guys across the plains. There's treasure galore. I'm sure Strahd will slaughter that army, but he'll be super fucking distracted.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know how down I
So-
am with slaughtering for that.
I'm
Number
all about
1.
it for military purposes. Number 1, Vistani camp. Number 2, the lake.
3.
Amber Temple. 4, Strahd's Castle.
Yes, and we have a 10-day
No Abbey.
No
a
Abbey.
potential 10-day window. The Abbey was only a thought of like if we wanted to try to get, if that is still an intact holy order, we could enlist their aid because they're kind of a. We've basically, guys, we've gone from micro to macro, and we're looking at like how the fuck do we assault this castle unless we're just like invited.
I think it would make sense to suggest to the Vistani to recruit more
Agreed.
of our women to the lands.
What is your order?
The Church of Ezra.
And perhaps, correct me if I'm wrong, the lake and the Vistani camp are in 2 separate locations, correct?
They are, but they're both close.
If you look at the
Yeah,
Velaki map,
they're like both a mile away from the town each.
sure, a couple hours tops. Like
I don't really want to split the party, but we could accomplish both of these things tonight.
Though I think it's getting rather late. It's already night.
Yeah,
we took a long rest or a short rest.
I think we need
and
to
we've been
long
talking.
rest.
I will say you can see everyone else has rested, but Rhodes is absolutely like
We didn't.
That is
interrupt
that is
shopping,
fucked to shit.
so.
He's not great. He was busy making clothes. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So are we trying to get to the camp tonight, or do we want to long rest and depart early?
Maybe 2 of us could just go to the camp.
Esmeralda
tonight.
will suggest that I feel like everyone should be on their top game, so a long rest would be a good idea.
I assume
There
the
are
rooms
rooms
are covered.
that are covered
Yeah.
for several nights, correct?
you're welcome.
Okay. We rest tonight. First thing tomorrow morning.
right at dawn.
Are we going to split up tomorrow morning?
I mean, I'm
Is Ezzy
To be
and
perfect-
what's his face coming with
These
us?
things seem close enough that
We could stay together.
Yeah.
Or split up.
Is
maybe
Ezzy
we'll see in the morning.
Sure.
You could do them both in one day.
We could.
that's right.
is Ezzy and Rudolph going with us or staying here?
Rudolph is going to stay here because he
Incite.
has some. You can.
No.
Oh, I was
It's
gonna
like
s-
violence.
No, he's doing research
Okay.
and trying to do some things.
He's like our base of operations. He's like our guy who's like
Very-
running
very good.
our shit at home.
Yeah, he's our
Alfred.
Yeah, that's it, dude. Perfect.
I was gonna go more like a Barley from the Barley
Oh,
Bangles.
also good.
I like it.
Also good.
Sure, I'll go with
Barley's
you on that.
demons.
Barley's Demons.
I love that.
So Esmeralda will definitely travel
And-
with you because she knows the lay of the land. She has some tricks if you run into trouble.
So that's 8 of us. So 4 and 4 is a pretty good, decent. We could have a healer in each, or 2 healers in one. We can do some recon.
I love this.
Nah, that's why we shouldn't
Who
do
said
it.
that? DM or
No,
Avram?
Oh yeah,
or...
yeah,
DM.
the DM did.
The DM.
Lovely. Okay, we're staying together.
Yeah, everyone's
Yeah.
gonna get backpack leashes.
So I'm assuming you guys are going to
Long rest.
Long rest.
Who knows about because the what are they called? The keepers of the feather or whatever?
Feathers,
Yeah.
Keeper
Keepers
of
of
the
the Feathers.
Feathers.
Those are also allies we could enlist, right? Because they don't like Strahd.
Are you asking me or are you asking Ratabi?
I'm talking above.
We're gonna
talking
ask
above
above the
Ratabi.
table to the party.
You don't necessarily
Ben doesn't.
know.
Ben doesn't know. He doesn't know that
Yeah.
there is a potential access point to whoever these ravens are inside the bar. So whoever has that information would have to take that chance if we want to try to enlist them as well.
I can hang
Ravens-
back and talk to the bar guy because, like, we established that, like,
Yeah, and you know about the tunnel, right? We know about their secret
Yeah.
routes.
so I would just kind of stand there, hang back at the bar, kind of wait until people left, finishing up my tea, until we had a second, so I could just kind of ask some questions to the barkeep that had the reaction.
I'll message Celeste and I'll say, do you want to go investigate these Keeper of the Feathers? And I will stay back and ask my questions of Ben.
You can like go to the bar and investigate. I can.
Ben, I have a question for you.
Pour moi?
Yes. In our sort of scuffle to get here, I did attempt to contact Ismark, who had also gone with one of the hags, and did not get a response.
So you think he's dead?
I do, but I suppose I want your opinion.
DM, when I was in the lovely little townhome, did I ever come across Ismark?
Never. You were too busy fighting demons, goblins, ghouls, and whatever else you could label them
I
as.
just do
Because you
need
were
to
in a
triple check
personal
or
haunted
something.
funhouse is the best way to describe it.
Rosie, in my experience, when attempting to reach out psychically to other creatures, they must be alive. The message would have still gone through if he were alive and chose not to respond. If he didn't respond, but you did not feel that message push through,
No, I did not.
then my thought would be Ismark the Greater is no longer with us.
Right. Unfortunately, this was not something that I could keep from Ireena.
Then we must get to her as soon as possible. Because grief makes you just a touch weaker.
So the faster we move, the better.
Yeah, before I go up to go to bed, because I'm definitely not watching anything, I'm going to sleep tonight for sure, have to. I would just approach the bartender. Does he speak Gith or Elvish?
He speaks common.
He's going, okay. And I would just kind of say, oh god, how am I gonna say
I
this?
just thought you were going to say call again.
Caw. Cheap. Got any eggs?
Yeah,
I know you noticed. I noticed. I won't say.
You noticing us talking about.
And I'm sure it's impossible to not overhear us and our peeps. Can we lean on you in times of need? If our causes are similar, the enemy is my friend. And I'm kind of, imbuing it with euphemisms and kind of like laying it on thick, like we're in the same cause.
Slide up.
Oh, let's see. So I feel with his role, he's got enough kind of insight. It takes him a second, but he puts it together and he says, "You can talk freely, but quietly. What is it that you're trying to get at?"
Can we use your tunnels? Can we call on you for... Obviously, you have the ability to survey and do, information gathering, or somebody you may know. I'm not insinuating you are. But if you do have access to things like that and you are against this person that is doing all these evils, then we are on the same side of history.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
17.
And you are good enough to know that he has a raven feather tattoo kind of like peeking out from his tunic on his probably lower neck.
I went up there to investigate too. Would this be something you would have been talking about with him in private?
It's more of a I'm keeping it quieter for his sake kind of thing, because I don't know how open he is. I don't know what this bar is. Maybe it's a biker bar where all the Raven people.
But if
hang
I had
out.
walked up there to also investigate that possibility, you would not have been trying to keep.
No, not between. Yeah,
I just didn't want to write down notes if it was a private conversation.
Yeah, no, you would totally be, and I'd kind of be like, she's an ally.
We are against the plague that is the demon on the hill, is what he will say. Our numbers are growing, but not strong enough to take him on. This is a sanctuary for people of the Order.
Is there access to that underground tunnel system we referred to?
There is access to one of many.
Okay.
Is what he says.
And, as a person of the cloth, so to speak, I just want to reassure him that you are, until my mind is completely gone, you are safe with us. You're safe to trust us in general. And do you have any free agents that would be able to work as liaison for us? Maybe.
What he will inform you or tell you is that he feels as if he can trust you based off his insight in this conversation.
He can tell that I'm absolutely terrified and I'm doing this out of pure need for help.
I will pass along the words to the fellow brethren and sisters to have your back, but I cannot devote
Absolutely, totally understand.
resources.
Free will. They have their choice to do what they will. Just know that we are not against them. Our intentions would not be to hurt them.
He is aware that your intentions are what they are, which is why he's speaking with you. And this will quickly flash in your head, both of you that are up there. Every time you saw a raven, it was observing. It was doing one thing or another. It never attacked you, but always watching.
It's good to know that these friends are our friends in the air and not sent by him necessarily every single time, which is comforting to know. And any insight that would have been gained from their surveillance, if it will be helpful in any portion of our journey or goals, just please keep that information. Let us know anything, and all that stuff. I'm bad at talking, so
Could use a little work.
it's not the best.
Well, a little smile. Find him.
I only look pretty. I'm not actually.
Okay.
But yes, thank you. Your hospitality has been amazing. If nothing else, it has been beneficial. We at least have had a safe place to stay. And
Enjoy your tea.
Yes, thank you. I'm shaking. Yeah. Now.
Well, that reminds me, I would have sniffed the tea.
Is everybody good?
No, I want to have our follow-up conversation.
I would like everybody who's not involved in this conversation to leave the room, please.
More coffee time.
You'll probably see.
And I will follow.
Sure.
Nymora?
Now we pick up with your conversations.
Look around, make sure no one's, in the vicinity, and probably maybe go over, like, lean up against a wall or something.
He'll kind of watch
cigarettes in
you
it?
start to walk away, and he'll just
Sure.
hold his arm out and like extend it, like he's offering you to link arms with him.
Perfect. I'll go ahead and give a little.
And let's just go on a little stroll in the evening.
I will message you. Would you like this conversation to be unheard, or are you comfortable with us talking in a low voice? I don't think we'll be overheard.
So
but...
I don't think, DM, this is a question for you. In this murder house I just came from, I think probably one of the abilities I didn't use was the psychic whispers.
Correct.
I'll just very just kind of in my hand unfurl it, and you'll see a little lightning bug kind of sitting there. Just an offer. As like, if you would like for this to be totally private, we can have unrestricted by spells. We don't have to cast message back and forth. We're not limited to like a 6-second conversation.
I'll pick it up. How long does this last?
It's literally got its little legs like...
It will last for, if we choose to use it, because it's going to burn otherwise, it'll last for 3 hours.
That's acceptable. Please tell me I don't have to eat it.
Just let it go. And it just
feel it on your ear.
Crawls right in.
And it
I
crawls.
still just hear a testing, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, wonderful. All right. So you said you did not see Ismark in wherever you went. Did you explore that place, and can you tell me more about where you did go? Was it a hag's realm, or...
So what he can tell you is there's multiple levels to this house that literally was... It felt like it was alive and was out for blood to get him, basically. There were many doors that were locked he couldn't gain access to. There were some places that he thought were one thing that turned out to be a horrific visage of something else. He found creepy iconography of the children, which lured him into said house.
It was like
he heard
so
some
you
sort
didn't
of...
start in this house? Like, what happened immediately after you... It was the cart, right?
Are you familiar with an anglerfish?
Probably, yes.
They
I've heard of them.
Deep,
I've
dark
seen one.
underwater creatures with small, inviting lights that lure their prey closer to them. These children greeted me with a lantern outside the home. After what we had just experienced, they were children asking for help. And I was looking for a way to get back to you as quickly as I could. And I saw a rich home with wealthy-looking children, and I thought, despite the stories of monsters screaming inside the home, I thought these are merely children being afraid of the dark. Let me go in, let me see what I can do, and let me get back to you as quickly as I could. And like the anglerfish, I was merely
sucked into
prey.
the trap. So the outside of this area, you just immediately... were there other signs?
You never went to the village of Barovia. It was in the village of Barovia.
She'd never been there.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much
yeah.
been
That was a like a role.
Okay, so
Yep.
the village, was it like where?
I assume in the more wealthy, not too far from the burgomaster's home where we met.
No. It was on the opposite side of town, and it looked as if it was a mansion among shacks.
Yeah, that's right. I could see the church on the hill. I could see familiar sights where we had fought zombies. People were walking about and peeking at me through their windows and curtains, so it felt much like it did the first time we were there.
And they weren't reacting to the children screaming in the house?
The children weren't screaming in the house. They were outside crying.
Well, okay. And no one...
Well...
Is this normal for this Barovia? For people to just ignore crying children in the street? I would probably ignore crying children in the street.
That's where Morgantha and the coven were plucking the children from. So I'm sure crying children were a common sight. Rose and Thorn were the name of the kids.
Do you think this was their coven house? Did you see the third hag we didn't manage to kill?
Things far worse in the house. It was like the house itself was trying to consume me.
Interesting. Okay, well, I guess that probably doesn't matter too much to the here and of today. So, I only believe that you probably made a deal with the hag because I was about to consider doing that to get you out of the whatever realm you were in where we could not find you. I did not, so I assume, especially from that tattered bracelet you now carry, that you made a deal with a hag of some sort?
I will, at this point, kind of stop us in the road. And I'll look around. Does the road itself seem populated at this time of night? Are there guards walking around? Is it just like a general cleanup effort?
There's a limited amount of guards that are out on patrol. The buildings are alight with, or are beginning to illuminate with, some of the buildings are with like lantern light or candlelight or firelight of some sort. It's starting to go into that, was it twilight or dusk, which I think is dusk. Yeah. So it's getting in, it's that phase. But you feel fairly certain there's not like a lot of people around that would overhear or see.
Do you speak Sylvan?
Say that again.
Do you speak Sylvan?
I believe I do. Hold on one moment. Yes, I do speak Sylvan.
This next little bit, he is just going to kind of take you by the shoulders and kind of firmly plant us at what I'm assuming is like an intersection. Nymora, I've never had a sister. I've never had family. I've never had anyone who can really understand what it means to be involved with the Fae.
Unfortunately, that is a common bond that we share, thanks to your grandmother. Is she the one that fulfilled this bargain?
I, at this point, now consider her our grandmother. And Nymora, I need you to understand that when I say that I made a bargain with a being that I thought was our grandmother.
Wait. You thought? Oh dear.
I made bargains the way I knew how. I whispered for her. I was alone in a closet. I felt lives being clipped with bargains I had made. To be frank, thought of you. I thought what you might be willing to do in this situation. How you would step up. And Nymora...
You might give me too much credit.
And at that point, I'll kind of take her face in my hands, and I'll go, that is not too much credit, it is not enough. But understand, I made a choice. to give up what I had left. And I'll kind of gesture back from where we came from. To protect those who have been protecting us. So yes, I made a deal. I made a bargain.
Who answered the call for the bargain?
Rose did. The child.
Rose.
I don't know.
This is not a visage of your grandmother that she would take to fool unsuspecting mortals like she fooled me.
It was
I believe you're dancing around, so I will just say it. If Grimagora,
Grimagard.
right? I heard it said once, yes. If Grimagora did not answer your call, who did? And do they now hold the leash to you and Fialova? And I can't remember.
Niley.
Let me just remember this right now. Niley. And Niley.
I have not been presented with anything. I have not been reached out to. The being that I saw when searching for Ireena's deal was not grandmother. Now, the way that the bargain was written, it was my soul to make them whole.
Was this the surviving member of the coven? Surely you probably know more about hags than me, even though I've tried to research as much as I could over the last few years.
It's not quite a hag. It's
It would have to be more powerful than your grandmother to have superseded your call to her, correct?
Unless that was sold for something else.
Inspiration.
All I know is the decision I made was one inspired by you for the good of the group. And sister, it is not one that will be lightly forgotten either.
Has grandmother attempted to contact you since this incident? How close were your ties? I get this feeling that while I am apparently a mortal that she's decided to have entertained her for the next several decades, she had more invested in you, so to speak.
It could have...
That's an investment not given up
It could have been as
lightly.
simple as she lost me in a game of cards. Our ties were close. She was kind to me at times. She was just a being of chaos, of tweaking the threads of fate, of offering a chance at something new with... It was like she was watching a play. She had jars on jars on jars of deals made on her shelves where she could pull them down and fireflies would scatter from the jar, and all of a sudden we would see a picture of the result of a game she had played. We would see knights succeeding on the battlefield, or we would watch lovers being torn apart by political games. We would see and watch these plays. Her little theater, she called it. I don't know what being holds my leash now. With her, with grandmother, it wasn't a leash, more like A familial obligation? But
You'll have noticed throughout this that she's kind of getting more quiet, more pensive. There's like a clamminess to her skin that has... You can tell, like, there is an intense amount of fear. She's used to controlling her emotions such as this, but...
Ben will pull out a handkerchief.
She does not
pull out a
like...
handkerchief from his sleeve and just kind of present it to you.
Thank you.
Of course.
So... That is quite a liability that I believe you now possess. And I don't know why Grimagora sent me here to help you, or how that will play out in this nice tangled interweb weave of hag politics. But...
What I can say is... If she released me, if she passed me on to something greater, or if it was the land itself that took me over, she's always thinking 5 steps ahead.
What do you mean by the land itself took you over? Why would you think
fogs,
that?
These mists, these beings, the land is poisoned by it. It's infused in the earth. Everything seems to be corrupted and dehallowed and disturbed and alive. These beings in the fog, they rip and they tear and they pull things from you. They reach out, they try to anchor you to the land. They try to trap you here forever. They're frankly an anglerfish.
Do we not think it might not be the hag then?
I think it's something greater. Well...
Or if it was the land itself, I mean, the hags can exist in other planes, so it'd be very odd for them to tether you specifically to one when they can trap
unless
multiple.
They're trapped here as well. If this land is a closed circle to anything but the Vistani, I would be a rather powerful Fae being myself going, get me the fuck out. Or something that helped the Dark Lord himself become who he is.
What is your take on this Strahd nonsense? He seems like one of the more powerful beings in this realm.
He has to die.
If you take his lady love away from him, well, it's probably the only person on this plane that could help you with the entity that now holds your soul's leash.
When you make the comment that he has to die, can you roll me a d4, please? You take 1 point of searing damage from your bracelet.
Each time I say it? I said it 3 times. Okay.
Then sure. And it'll be more of a psychic damage. Like it's just a searing, burning, psychic kind of damage that's dealt to you.
Go ahead.
Do you make any visible reaction? Or
honestly,
he'll
probably close his eyes and you'll see just a very faint silver, like mercury trickle kind of leaking down his nose and probably out of one of his eyes.
So the being that has you tethered does not want you to murder Strahd. Very interesting.
I guess we'll find out.
This presents problems.
Again, like I mentioned about the Vistani, I may not be able to take direct action against him. Doesn't mean I can't influence some chaos. And you'll kind of, when he says that, you'll see kind of all of those Fae features stretch just a touch beyond what he is now.
Well, this will be an interesting next fortnight, that is to be sure. So,
I read something somewhere that brothers and sisters do these fun thing called, blood packs, and I'll kind of just quickly take a dagger out and slice his palm open. Sister?
Do you take me for an idiot?
And I'll just kind of wash it away. It was worth a shot.
Especially now that I don't know who holds your leash. I don't want to be torn in between two different hags. Not that I don't appreciate the sentiment. It's very kind.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you ever see me acting out of what you would appear this to be, and I'll drop out of Sylvan and speak in common, call for Nebuchadnezzar. That's my name.
Nebuchadnezzar. Okay.
Call my name.
That's his name.
His name. All capital. But in his name. Okay. Do you want the others to know of your plight? Or are we going to keep this amongst those with knowledge of the background?
Siblings have secrets, don't they?
Yes, they do. I'm quite used to keeping secrets over the years. So it will be no matter for me.
Then just us for now.
I will watch and watch
It's
your
like
back.
you've got a leash on me too.
Just she'll kind of turn towards you and she'll grab both your hands, give just a light squeeze. Take care over the next few days, and don't split your worries. She'll put them both in one and pat them. Focus on the goals in the here and now, and we'll worry about the rest later.
All right. That sounds lovely.
Okay. And I presume that kind of concludes your little jaunts.
Yes, it does.
You can bring the rest in to confirm that
They're all still alive?
they're ready.
You may enter. I murdered Ben and put him down a side road.
So now that everybody's back in,
Nope. Still
before
murdering
we
in a dark
proceed
alleyway.
on with long resting, is there anything else anyone else wants to do? Want to make sure you have your opportunities to role play or get things together.
I'm gonna go use the little boy's room.
I'm gonna quietly inquire to Afram as we kind of settle into our little snuggle fest.
Yeah.
Are you having any trouble communicating with your gods?
He says that it is a challenge, but it is one that he is used to at this point.
Is it something that, like, you had a waning
Don't mind us.
sense of it was stronger and then tapered off? Because it's like, I died, and now there's nothing.
So he goes on to explain essentially that he's been here for many years, and he knew when he came here that that was a grievous possibility of losing that connection. So he's had time to prepare and train for these things. So what he will start to do, until either you fall asleep or you're comforted, is he will go through like instructional things, mentoring you of certain techniques that you can try to either reestablish connection or gain confidence in these things so you're not so frightened.
That's one of the things that, like, I don't know if we do, like, long-term goals, but that'll be, like, a
Sure.
thing that me and Afrin
Sure.
would hopefully work on.
Like a bond or a
On, like, a
connection.
long-
Absolutely. Because
long
he is
rest.
he is a mentor. He's
Yeah.
a teacher, so that is what he will do. He'll work with you.
And I'll say, even though that we're not reaching to the same people, I can tell that these techniques will be beneficial. So at the very least, it can bring me some peace.
Yep, that's fair.
Is Ben in the room when I go up there?
In your room,
'Cause I know
no.
we had been in there before together.
He will currently not be in there.
Okay.
He has evidence. There's evidence he still plans on returning. I mean,
Okay.
all of his things are splayed out and whatever, but he is currently not there.
Okay.
Oh, she's rooting for his stuff.
No.
Ah, damn.
Sorry.
It's already happened. Fiolova did that way back.
Yeah, no, I'm not interested in his secrets or lack thereof.
Dang, he's back.
Quick, hide the
Who
bodies.
died?
I would like to kind of like take a moment to just really assess, like,
Life.
yeah, just like what I saw, and kind of try to maybe see if I could discern whether it was my god being pissed off that I failed too soon, or if it was actually just like Strahd fucking with me, or like kind of see if I could like parse out like.
Go ahead and give me an insight check disadvantage because you're going through memories.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be great already. Oh, it's the same number both times. I got a 15 with disadvantage.
I'm going to say that it takes you enough. It's going to take quite some time.
Yeah.
To the point that Ben probably would return, but the ultimate goal essentially is that it was an entity being Strahd that is fed up with playing games as if, okay, I'm done having fun. It's time to really play. And
Okay.
I want my cake and I want to eat it too, kind of vibe.
Gotcha. Got it. So, that, okay. Makes me feel better, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And then if Ben was back, I'm sure we're shoving the bed against the door.
1000%.
Are we bunking up in the same bed then?
Could I be Little Spoon?
You guys are both gonna be freezing together, just chattering.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
get attacked by
it
a
is a
dragon.
very-
I still have warmth to my body.
No,
you got attacked by
you
more.
feel the same vibe.
In our room?
As far as like, yeah, it feels like the temperatures drop. Like somebody turned the air conditioner on and it's already, or a fan is on.
Since we're about to go to bed anyways, can I just give a divine sense right now? Like, I know we were assured that... Well, actually, we weren't
What
assured
does
that...
the divine sense do?
It says, as an action, I can detect good and evil until the end of my next turn. I can see anything affected by the hollow spell or know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet. It's not behind total cover. Use it 3 times per long rest.
You feel 3 undead nearby. Two of which are emanating really close.
Me and...
From your heart.
Oh.
Just thematically, Ben's just kind of like over in his like little box, and he just kind of like looks over his shoulder and like smiles at you, and then like goes back to his box.
Yeah.
And it's just this
And the
bright
other-
golden energy of like ding,
And
ding,
this,
ding,
and
ding.
this, the other feeling would be coming from Philo. So the 3 of you would...
3 undead.
Is it true undead
What?
things, or just like an undead cloak over us?
Congratulations, you're now
Did you
changed your
die?
class race?
Yeah.
Okay.
What
Right now,
is-
you're feeling the divine sense, which is beginning to shift from holy divine into more of like a necrotic vibe.
Oh, do I have to change my shirt?
Don't know. We'll find out.
Oh man. Yeah, there might be another conversation. I think everyone would probably hear. It might be a little muffled, but Niley would look at Ben and just be like, "What the fuck did you do?"
What?
Just
Everybody
kind
looks
of
up.
pause for a second because he's in his crate, which is on the bed that's kind of pushed up against the door. And he'll turn around and he's just got like rouge on his cheeks and he's got makeup on and he's just like looks like he's been playing in his box. It's just not.
Oh, I figured it would have been like cucumbers
No.
in the eyes,
That's right.
moisturizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. We're gonna go with that. He's got cucumbers on his
Yeah.
eyes, full lotion, ready to go.
Yeah.
He's got like a little pot de creme, and he's just like, "Oh, did you want some?"
Yeah.
I imagine like when she uses her divine sense, her eyes like kind of like have a golden energy around them, so you'd probably be able to see maybe a little bit of that.
It's
I
a
don't know if it
little
was
smoky and purple. is
Yeah,
what you're
I was
seeing.
like, I don't think it's golden anymore. What did you do, and why am I like this?
Oh God.
Get nervous.
Okay.
You'll also get a, after the scream, I don't want to interrupt the middle, but you'll get a message. Are you
Yeah, we're fine. It's gonna be fine. We're fine. It's what you get back.
I'm so convinced. I'm
We should
nestled
probably
in
go
the
check
bathroom.
on them.
It's good news, there's something barricading the door,
Right.
so nothing can get in.
It's gonna be great. This is gonna be great. You guys carry on.
I will go. Okay, Niley. We all went through a rather difficult day. Are you standing up or sitting down?
I'm standing up.
Maybe sit down.
Tiny little flickers of flame light are kind of wisping out the corners of her eyes. It's like they squint at you.
Just Yeah, let's
Sit down? You want me to sit
Just for a
down?
moment. We need to breathe.
No!
We need to take a second.
I want to hit something, and you're the closest thing to hit. So, start talking. What did you do?
I wasn't here in the village of Vallaki. I was in the village of Barovia. I could not have done anything to you.
I was dead 1 minute, and I'm alive.
6
and
seconds.
I was dead 6 seconds, specifically
No
because I
brain
know
death.
that. And then I was alive the 7th second. My God
And
wouldn't
on
have
the
done
7th
that
second she rose.
with my Jerusalem cruisers in sport mode, so I need to know.
Rhodes is a phenomenal healer. Avram was there. Before you get angry at me, before you get pissed at being alive again,
Can I still?
can I still be Little Spoon?
I'm so sorry.
If it fuck you. If it looks
I'm sorry.
if it smells like a Tarask and it looks like a Tarask, it's gotta be a Tarask.
Doesn't
You're also looking the same as me, and Fialova is
I
feeling the
immediately
same
go
as
and
me.
touch-
So why are all three of
I
us?
like touch the horns on my head and I go, I don't think you have this.
I would know
lovely
undead,
crown."
right? Like my sense.
Yeah,
would be able to-
yeah.
Okay, cool. No, Ben, we're undead.
What?
Yes, that's this, that's you, that's me, that's Fialova. We are no longer alive.
I'm gonna take the dagger from earlier. I'm gonna take the dagger off and I'm gonna like cut my palm open and take. I don't even know what a dagger does. D4 damage.
Sure,
D4.
we'll go with
Lots
D4.
of damage. I do a huge fucking gash in my arm.
Ow!
What are you doing?
What's crazy? I wanted to make sure I was not dead. Niley, look, I am bleeding. That hurt like fuck. I'm not shambling around. I still have a silver tongue. It's beautiful. See? But like, look, man. I am still wildly alive. And I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna grab her face. And you are wildly alive.
Bloody hand.
Yeah.
Just
Fuck it.
remember that.
Yeah.
Rub it
When
all
you
over
guys
your
come in.
This is actually what the moisturizer is. Just my blood.
Oh!
So you do, when you touch her, you do feel her skin being slightly cooler. There's still some warmth, but it's like fading.
Niley.
What happened? How did you go from Barovia to Vallaki then in a matter of moments? You were not here. We were going to try to rescue you.
The father
Tell
at the
me.
church sent me back. He had some sigil in the church that sent me to the gates of Vallaki. That's how I got back to you quickly. I had to save you. I had to save Fialova.
That's a 24 insight.
That's against your
I'm gonna-
deception.
Okay,
Um,
I'm gonna.
I believe you.
In that
I'm gonna
20.
take a picture of it. I'm gonna take a picture of it, and it's my. Just so we're clear, it's my skull dice. It is a natural 20. I'm gonna send it to the group.
Damn.
Somehow he's like,
It's-
I approve.
And that would make my deception a 29.
So I believe him.
You had what?
24.
Yeah, I got a 29.
Yeah.
Not 20 doesn't mean automatically succeeds. He still
Yeah.
has the high
And I will in
Yeah.
that moment I will
Comments
take
were
you in my wee
Bloody hands.
arms against
Yeah.
your broad back, and I will just kind of like I will pull you in as like just like as lovingly as I can, and I will whisper.
Is he
I-
cold?
Yeah, it's like it's almost as if you're like warm, but you've been outside for a while. It's not like windburn, but you can feel like your skin is starting to cool. It's not like you're ice cold. I mean, there's still you feel as if you are alive.
Yeah.
It's almost like a transition.
And I will pull you close to my chest, and I will go.
I think on reflex she would hug him
And
back,
I will go,
but
Niley, we are alive. And if there's something else at play, we can figure it out.
Probably not long enough for a.
There is. I was gonna say there's a knock at the door and a beating on the wall, and Ephraim's like, "Please keep it down. I'm trying to console and sleep." Huh?
Dear sister, would you like to take point on this one?
I don't ask questions.
Do you want Ben to be married? That sounded a little hysterical, and then Ben sounded more hysterical.
As you can hear muffled talking outside of your door.
If you open the door or turn the knob,
Yeah, you get a few until you hit something like half-inch.
help me push. The door's not
And
locked.
when you guys do that, once you
Myself.
hear, I'm naked.
What are you two doing in there?
Prayers. Only prayers.
nothing. We're fine.
Is there blood everywhere?
There's
All
blood
over
on
her
me.
face,
And
dripping down.
He's
Yeah.
got cold cream and cucumber.
Yeah. It's fine. We're fine.
This looks a little questionable.
Okay, good. I didn't know if this was normal or not, but it seemed weird to me. So
There's
We have a
yelling.
spare bed if you want to book it with us.
I like the idea that Rose is in this room and he's just in the corner, like.
The whole time.
Boots!
I can sleep. I'm sleeping to death.
I just wanted a spare blanket. Can I leave now?
Please, fire too.
I want to go home now. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, man. Yes, we're fine. Just a misunderstanding.
She didn't like my beauty
It's been a
routine.
I'd like to insight that.
Yeah, it's not a
No
good.
need to roll. It's. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
like
was
they're
gonna say she's-
fine, but are they
She's
fine?
very obvious. I will for the
That's an
lie.
18.
Yeah, no, she got it. I was lying. I rolled a 10.
Wait, we're okay.
We're fine. It just
We're
a
fine.
conversation.
We're great. Everything's great.
I'll just send it, you
Nothing
know,
to worry about
point
here.
subtly at Ben, and I'll say,
I think we're
It doesn't
actually
sound
still
fine.
we're still
Is there-
connected.
"Oh yeah, we're still in the." Doesn't sound fine. Has there been a new
I'm
development?
just trying to keep her calm for today. We will process it when we can.
I'll just say if Niley says it's fine, knowing that like
It's not.
if my
fine.
sister says it's fine, like let it go.
It's probably handled in some way or shape or form.
It's better.
We're not prepared to talk about it yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is-
All right.
I don't know.
Are we good
I
here?
appreciate your concern. Thank you.
Are we leaving the room?
I'll give you your handkerchief back. Well, I'll give it to Niley actually, and I'll be like, I got.
Wrong
Yeah.
word. Wrong word. Carry
Yeah,
on.
thank God you didn't put any cream on my face before they walked in.
Wow.
That would have been
Or
awkward.
did he?
Oh.
Rose just scutbles out of the room like a scared cat.
I imagine the noise.
Ah! Move! Move! Get out of my way.
Not evening prayers. I have misunderstood this completely.
All right. Bring it back in. Is everybody good?
Yeah.
I'm going to, with my new spell slot that I have, can I focus to prepare and that before I've slept?
Because yeah, you can. Absolutely.
I will find a quiet spot and I will
Does
take a
Rhodes have a roomie?
He was
supposed to be
he
Avro,
was.
wasn't
Well, he was staying. He was in the same room as Niley and Ben, and now he's got to find somewhere quiet.
As we walk
Crashing
out,
hours.
I'm gonna say like I think Avram's in that one.
He knows because he banged on the wall to keep it down. I'm trying to sleep.
They were
Or maybe they need a
It's
threesome.
platonic cuddles. You
Yeah.
can definitely lay in the bed next
Wait,
to us.
wait. I would also like to retroactively make it canon that Rhodes was lying on the bed next to the door when we pushed it open.
It just rode. Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
It's canon.
Oh man.
God.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you.
I
Have
will-
a good night, Rhodes.
Thanks.
Okay.
I will potentially take a huge risk and do ascending to Ireena.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
I will say, your allies live. You must fight and maintain hope. Your story is not over yet.
Okay. You know that the message will go through. You'll get a sharp pain in the temples of your head, 1 point of psychic damage, and you will hear a voice say, "Stay out of her head." And that's all you'll hear. Is everybody good to take a long
God,
rest?
please.
I would like to add one thing with Ben.
Yeah, sure.
And that's it stays between us.
Oh.
What I told you.
Well, you said it out loud. So
Well, you
Rhodes
guys.
knows.
Yeah, Rhodes knows. I don't think Rhodes would say it. anything?
He could probably keep secrets.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how he feels about the whole I'm undead statement, but
Oh, don't mind me.
yeah.
Of course.
Against my will.
Yeah.
Niley, of course. Remember? Secrets are okay.
I regret that statement so much.
I'm sure you do.
And I knew I was going to regret it the moment I said it to him, but I still said it because it's important.
Secrets are
Okay. Are we ready for all of it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, are we?
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Me physically here at this table.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like for Fialoba, for Niley, and for Ben to leave.
Oh, no.
I turn the table over to you.
Well, really would be like the innkeeper.
Is that what you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So, long rest will be completed. The next morning, you will get a knock at the door. The innkeeper will ask for you specifically. You will have something for you. If you wouldn't mind reading that out loud so the audience can hear.
Sure.
Where you gonna go?
Origami master.
You made it so difficult. I told you should have used less glue. You just fold the tab of the envelope under. You don't lick it.
Rhodes, I am writing to you alone as I believe you are the most level-headed and understanding member of this group. I feel that most of us have lost sight as to the truly important things and are focused in the wrong direction. I believe Ismark is still out there. Everyone seemed content to count him as a loss, but I refuse. He asked for us to help back in Barovia, and we just abandoned him when he might need us the most. As a cleric of Ezra, I know you understand the significance of one's own journey or calling. Nymora and I have gone to search for him, if not for myself, then for Ireena. We need your help, Rhodes. Don't tell the others. Don't let the others stray from their path and try to track us. They must continue to find the remaining artifacts and save Ireena. She also needs us, and I fear we have already let her down. We will meet up with you all again when the time is right. Please help us buy some time before you tell the others. Lead them astray if you have to. Celeste. P.S. If you have a hard time persuading the brute not to track us, give Niley the enclosed letter. It should help sway her to your side. We are counting on you, and we are in your debt.
Okay. How does Rose process? What does Rose do?
Rose just gives a deep sigh.
Okay.
And, is there a fire?
You
There is
could.
now.
There could be somewhere you could. Yeah.
He will take the letter for Niley and stick it in his pocket, and he will take this letter.
And burn it. Fair enough. Pen the letter back then if you're going to burn it. Okay. Well, the other
You
one.
keep
you
the
keep.
other one.
Yeah, in case you need it. And that will conclude this fantastic episode of our Curse of Strahd. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the fantastical roleplay and subterfuge or secrets, whatever. I don't even know. I was thoroughly entertained for the amount of time that it's on the clock, for sure. Please be sure to check out our socials. We have Facebook, we have TikTok at Crit Eating Grin. We are on Threads and Instagram at Crit_Eating_Grin. If you haven't subscribed, please do help support the channel. Give us some likes, throw out some comments, and thank you very much. And remember, keep grinning.
Bye.